explain it. Oh, good love, it just feels right. Oh, baby, maybe you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Baby, I need you back. I do. You know your body needs me too. What are you doing now? Come through. Come through. Thinking about you made me lose my mind. I'm so crazy, baby, you're divine. Dreaming, scheming, need you by my side. Every waking moment of my life. You got what I need. I'm thinking that there's no cool in this heat. Can't explain it, oh, good love, it just feels right. Oh, baby, maybe you know what I mean.
Hey, hey, yes.
That was so good. What a tune.
Yes, I love that royalty-free sound.
It's just like as good as Kanye West stuff.
Genius.
Sorry, genius.
Yes, yes. I think the person who makes artlist royalty-free content is just as much of a genius as EA.
Yep. I mean, except
Prove
they
me
have less
wrong.
money for marketing. So,
That's true. That is true.
but
Anyways, welcome.
hello everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Laura, Andrea. Hello, Rachel.
We're only 2 days late. 2 days behind schedule.
Well, I mean, one day considering we used to go live on Thursdays.
That's
so
true. We've just been early.
It's a
for the
matter of
last-
perspective.
Just shift your thinking into a more positive light. You're right. Good point.
Yeah, it's literally like 6 days early for next week.
That's true. Reframe. Okay. I love it.
Yeah, I learned this from Dave Hollis.
Yes. He is a knower of things for sure. He taught me how to
very
be
wise.
me. Yeah. He made me before I was me. And after I will be me later based on my growth. I don't know.
That's good. I don't know what that means, but it's very good, right?
I don't think he
like
does
it's
either.
worth like $5,000 for a conference.
At least
Easy.
minimum. Yes. Like to become me, who is not who I was before I was me, is so invaluable. You can't put a price on that.
No, except $5,000.
Except $5,000. Oh, that's this weekend, actually. Speaking of them, the mastermind, no, it's not show up. That's different. It's the Get Fit Challenge mastermind is going on live in Arizona starting today or tomorrow, I think.
Oh, with Heidi Powell and all that.
Davey
Yeah,
Hollis
okay.
and Mel Robbins and Amy Purdy and Drew Manning. Got it all memorized.
What does Mel Robbins know about getting fit?
She knows how to get fit in the mind.
Yes, sorry. I didn't realize this was a
Yeah.
metaphor.
Yeah.
Still self-help. Like we've not moved on quite yet.
I saw Mel Robbins do a lunge one time in a Heidi Powell Instagram story. It was painful. It was bad. Like this woman has never done a lunge in her life before, apparently.
Yeah.
Just saying. So she ain't
posted
no fitness
some
guru.
Yeah, she posted some reels or TikToks. I don't remember exactly what I watched it with her mother-in-law, who is a lot older, obviously, and she was just saying how fit she was, and like she was doing some things that clearly she was very fit, like much more than me because I can't like do pull-ups and like Anyways, I was like very impressed because at her age, like being something like 70s or something, like
Wow.
it's
Her
pretty-
mother-in-law
it's pretty
was doing
great.
that?
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
but I don't I don't know that I thought ever about Mel Robbins as like
A
a
fitness
fit
star.
person who should give you fitness advice and all that stuff. But then again, she studied law, so she knows everything.
Yeah, she's able to give us advice about all facets of life. But as they'll tell you, getting fit is not about eating or workouts. It's all about mindset, and that costs, again, priceless information to learn about changing your mindset.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's definitely all about mindset and definitely nothing to do with health.
Yes. And I agree with my name's Kate too, who says she counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fat is done. That's what I think is true as well.
And
Five,
also, she
four,
strikes
three, two,
me.
one.
Now, I could be completely wrong, but based on all the pictures I've seen of her, all the videos that I've seen of her, she strikes me as someone who's never had any issues with weight or anything. So I'm not sure really what her advice could say. It could be just like, get good genes, y'all. Just get good genes.
Just you're born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe you're just born with it, like me, and therefore there's nothing you can do. I saw a TikTok last night. It was like, I don't know what it was. It just like came up on my For You page, and it was somebody, some sort of like advice asking show. And this woman is asking a guy who is like the host, and she's like, what can I do to find a man? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying and it's not working. And he's like, you can try getting reincarnated. And I was like, oh, damn, that's so fucked up. But it's like,
I'm sorry, but it's hilarious. Was that person a comedian?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if it was a
Relationship
self-help guy,
coach.
spirituality guy, or he was just like a literal comedian. But I was like, damn, that's so cold.
Yeah, yeah.
That's his advice. Just start over.
So I would need some of that. How do I go about reincarnating myself?
Don't
into
ask Teal
someone else?
Swan. Don't ask Teal. She'll tell you to. It's a reset button. No problems. Just restart your life. So be careful who you take advice from.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I want to also just say, you guys, I am sick, so my voice will just keep breaking. So far I've been coughing 3 times, but I'm trying to like mute so that you guys don't have to turn off your computers.
Just shut it instantly. Oh my God.
So that it doesn't break all your windows. But yeah. So, okay, today we have a lot. Like, there's so much happening at the moment. I don't even know where all this stuff came from. It
Neither.
just so happened that, like, out of nowhere, so much stuff has been happening in the world. And
I recently made
especially,
a video talking.
Sorry. Oops. I'm setting up the clips in advance. Apologize.
that's okay, I'm just dying here. It's fine. So, several things that I find very interesting. One of them being the Selena Gomez documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's a new Selena Gomez documentary called My Mind and Me on Apple TV. And
I've
I
not seen
watched it.
You have Apple TV? Can I get your login? It's the only one I
I
don't
got
have.
the free trial and I canceled
okay.
immediately.
Nice. Okay. Fair enough.
So Selena has had this team of people sort of follow her for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they made this documentary at the end of it. And it's a good piece. It's pretty good, but there's some things that I don't necessarily agree with. But also, it's not bad. It's like it's a good movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's worth watching. You do learn a lot about her through this. I didn't know. I don't think I knew like 80% of the things that she
I don't know
has
much
gone
about
through.
her. Yeah, I don't know. I know she was on Disney Channel on The Wizards of Waverly Place, and I know she was dating Justin Bieber back then. That's about all I know. And I know she had some sort of illness.
Yeah, she has lupus. Lupus. Yeah.
But she had like a surgery, right? Like that's what we're going to talk about today. Something about her surgery?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as I think as part of this illness that she has with as part of lupus, and I don't know all of the details about it, but she needed a kidney transplant, and her friend, sorry,
You're good. This is the worst week for you to have to pick the topics. I don't know anything about any of these things either. I can't even jump in and go, oh yeah, let me explain. I have no clue.
yeah, sorry. Okay, so she needed a kidney transplant, and her friend Francia, I forget her last name. who is also an actress on Disney films, decided to give her a kidney. And this Francia Raisa, I think her name is.
Yeah, that sounds.
So this is
is
the
hers.
original post where she told people. And
You
yeah,
read
maybe
it?
it's worth like, yeah.
Okay. So this is on Selena's Instagram. It says, I'm very aware some of my fans have noticed I was laying low for part of the summer and questioning why I wasn't promoting my new music, which I was extremely proud of. So I found out I needed to get a kidney transplant due to my lupus and was recovering. It was what I needed to do for my overall health. I honestly look forward to sharing with you soon my journey through these past several months, as I have always wanted to do with you. Until then, I want to publicly thank my family and incredible team of doctors for everything they have done for me prior to and post surgery. And finally, there aren't words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend Francia Reza. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me. I am incredibly blessed. I love you so much, sis. Lupus continues to be very misunderstood, but progress is being made. For more information regarding lupus, please go to the Lupus Research Alliance website, lupusresearch.org, by grace through faith. And that was 269 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a few years ago, I think 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
2017 looks like this post was.
2017. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, yeah. So even before I thought. So, anyways, this is, as I'm sure you can imagine, and yes, she does have bipolar as well. But the bipolar is actually well addressed in the documentary. But this is a big deal, isn't it? Like, you need a transplant, and you
Yeah.
get a transplant from you get a kidney, a literal part of somebody's body. This is your friend. She gives you this kidney. It's a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah, that is a huge sacrifice because your life as the donor is never quite the same. I've heard like you can still live and do things normally, but you like exercise is different and you have to take better precautions of things for yourself for the rest of your life. So it's not just like, oh, yeah, I'm donating some blood. Like this is a big deal and you're really I think it's a sacrifice for sure.
It probably changes your life forever because the way you I'm not really sure. Like the way, like the kidneys are part of the digestive system, and the way you digest is never going to be the same. It's like literally cut in half. And Francia has talked about this briefly, and we're going to see in a minute. But she said that she was aware that while this was happening, the person receiving the kidney will start to feel a hell of a lot better because like they're getting something they don't have. So they're like suddenly, their body is able to digest, like it's able to just function better. While the person losing the kidney is gonna feel worse, at least in the initial, recovery period. So she did talk about that, and it's interesting. We're gonna see some video about this. But while you think this is a huge deal in someone's life, in the documentary, this was not even like half a minute. Like they just showed the picture and glossed right past, didn't even mention Francia's name,
Damn.
and moved on to the next thing.
Huh.
So people have been starting to speculate. Like, hold on a minute, what's happened? There's been drama here with Francia. Why is Francia not mentioned? Why is Francia not in the documentary except for this picture?
Yeah.
And this picture being there for like 5 seconds, not enough. So I figured, you know what, let's watch this video by Spillstash because she has done some really good research, and I think it starts at like 5 minutes 57. That is really interesting.
5:57. Okay.
Yeah, but in the meantime, can I go make another tea because this is
No.
not gonna cut it.
Yes. You may. You may leave.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I just want to point out as Cam leaves, behind her, Spill Sesh has 666,000 subscribers. Hey.
Yes.
So
the
if you
devil.
if you believe in devil worship, this is the channel for you. Okay. Here we go. So we're at 5 minutes, 57 seconds. So again, I don't know anything about this at all. I know the bare minimum. So I'm actually very intrigued by a scandal involving kidneys.
Friends. That is until this past week. I talked about in my video going over the documentary that Selena had recently done an interview following the release of the documentary, and it was with Rolling Stone. And in it, she said that she didn't have many friends in the industry and that Taylor Swift was her only real friend. She said, and it was hard to share these fears with people whose lives hadn't been derailed by fame. Even as she says, I never fit in with a cool group of girls that were celebrities. My only friend in the industry really is Taylor Swift. So I remember feeling like I didn't belong. I felt the presence of everyone around me living full lives. I had this position and I was really happy, but was I? Do these materialistic things make me happy? She realized I just didn't like who I was because I didn't know who I was. E! News had posted a portion of this quote on their Instagram that said, I never fit in with a cool group of girls that were celebrities. My only friend in the industry really is Taylor. And Francia ended up commenting and quickly deleting her response to this that said, interesting. Some tried to say Francia was overreacting, and clearly Selena was saying this about people in the music industry and not the industry as a whole. So they thought it was ridiculous of her to even think that was anything to be mad about, while others felt like it wasn't super clear that she was only talking about the music industry and felt like this was actually not very nice of Selena to say, and she was actually discrediting Francia's entire career as an actress in the industry. Someone who gave her a kidney, but her only real friend is Taylor? People just weren't liking this at all, especially knowing it rubbed Francia the wrong way. And while someone ended up making a TikTok about the comment Francia had left, Selena Gomez commented on the TikTok and said, sorry I didn't mention every person I know, which started even more drama. People were shocked to see Selena respond.
Isn't the whole point of the post or the article or whatever, I'm coming into this halfway through, but she's like, I had no friends, 0 people. I only had one friend. It was Taylor. That's the whole point of this journalist writing this article. Sorry, I didn't mention all of my other friends. God, guys, like, what's the whole point of the article then?
It's like, sorry, she's not just every person you know. She's someone who donated a whole kidney to you.
Yikes. And I'm seeing some of the people in the comments saying that there's like speculation that Selena was like drinking after the surgery. That would be insane if that's, I don't know.
There is some of this chat just before this, but I think that she was kidding. She made a TikTok, but it was kind of a joke.
Okay, good. Because I would imagine you cannot drink if you've had a kidney transplant, probably both sides, the donor and the receiver, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Bonds, and a lot of people didn't love what she had to say, and that she had referenced someone who gave a piece of themselves to save her life as just a person she knows. Something about it rubbed people very wrong, and then a huge conversation started surrounding Francia and Selena's friendship. People were saying Francia unfollowed Selena, and her mom unfollowed Francia. Others said that Selena's mom had unfollowed her a while ago, and so did Francia. All I do know is that Selena still follows Francia, and the timelines of other unfollowings are just one big giant question mark. But the whole thing is weird and it's sad. These two girls share such a personal journey together, and Francia literally underwent an extremely hard surgery with lifelong effects to save Selena. And if they aren't friends anymore, that just sucks a lot. People then started going down memory lane and analyzing old interviews about the kidney transplant. There were people mentioning an interview Francia did with Self, where she talked about being a kidney donor and how she didn't get to tell Selena she was a match herself. She had said that Selena actually was the one to call her and say, we are a match, and it was set. And she didn't really have this time to process, like, this is happening.
I did panic when I found out I was a match. It wasn't the way I expected. One day I got a phone call from Selena, a FaceTime, and she's like, we're a match! And I'm like, yay! What? How do you know this? I had a way that I wanted to tell her when I made the decision. I knew it was gonna happen. I just needed that time. Like, it's a big thing. So I hang up and I call my social worker and I'm angry. And she told me, it's gonna be hard. The recipient is gonna glow and she's gonna recover a lot faster than the donor is, because she's receiving something she needs. You're losing something you don't need to lose. It's gonna be hard.
When people were dissecting these old interviews, people noted that Selena had said at one point in time to NBC that Francia volunteered to do this and get tested, and it really didn't seem like anything that she was being forced to do. Others have defended Francia, going on social media to say that she might have volunteered to get tested for Selena, but didn't actually say 100% she was going to do it.
Okay, my take on this is it's almost like the argument like you can rescind consent whenever you want. Like it's almost saying like, well, you said earlier at the bar that you liked me, so like, you know, whatever happens past that, like you said it, it's fine. Like I feel like it's the same thing or similar to this, and maybe that's a crass example, but like just because she went and got tested does not mean that she automatically is saying I will donate my kidney to you no matter what if I am a match. I think people do these match things all the time where it's like, hey, go and see if you could be a match for somebody. That's a different ask than like, okay, now we found out you're a match. There should be a second level of like, okay, I've thought about it. I've talked to my doctor about it. Like, I'm definitely gonna do it. Or actually, I've learned more. I'm sorry, I can't do it. That shouldn't be something that, is not okay.
Yeah, and I think that clearly she did want to donate the kidney since she did, but also she seems to have had a plan and wanted to just kind of think it through once she has her mind made up and she's sure she can just say it. Kind of seems like she was forced to do it, or not forced to do it, but like
Pressured
into doing it, and also into making the decision faster than she wanted to. Seems like she wanted to take some time to think about it and then couldn't because Selena phoned her being super excited.
I don't know how organ transplants work or donations or whatever, but it sounded like it wasn't like Selena went to the top of the organ donation list. That's like a nationwide thing, because I don't think she was, and I don't know for sure, but I don't think she was like gonna die in the next 24 hours if she didn't get this. It sounds like this was like a private thing that was sort of, get your friends and people to test. And so the fact that Selena would know first before the donor, I don't know. That sounds like a breach of her medical privacy.
Yeah, I don't know how they did those tests. I wonder if they did it with a private doctor or like whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like Selena's doctors or something.
Yeah.
And they told her first. I'm not sure how exactly they did it, but it seems just a bit odd. And she clearly says here, and this is such a good clip that Spillfish found, because I'm assuming she had to go through quite a few of them. But just clearly shows that she did want to do it, but she just wanted to have a think basically and be sure before coming out with the news.
I think that's reasonable. Completely. It's ridiculous to think like, how dare you, do this and then consider the risks. And then on top of it, she went through with it. So it's like, in hindsight, like she had concerns and went forward anyways. That shows even more, I think, consideration for, Selena. I'm very interested in this story. I thought I wasn't going to care. And now I'm like very intrigued by this whole thing.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh, I'm just going to watch this documentary because whatever. But then I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Medical industry fraud, potentially? I don't know. Wow. Okay, I'm hooked. Should we keep watching it? Is there more?
Yeah. There's more.
Okay.
If we are a match, it's just something that I would like to do. Of course, they'll get tested for you, but it's still something to like sit and process through before I actually tell you I'm going to do it. Francia did say to NBC that Selena didn't want her to do it at first because she is so busy and didn't want her to go through such a hard procedure, but Francia did want to do this at the end of the day. So it's all over the place with what people are picking from all these interviews. I'm just gonna say, from everything that I've seen, she did seem to very much want to do this for her friend, someone she referred to as her sister. She didn't think twice about it. I think in that self-interview, she was just trying to say that she wished that she had actually been told she was a match so that she could process it for a second before she was going to tell Selena, like, hey, we are a match, like, we're going to do this. But the fact that Selena knew the information before her kind of took something away from her in that aspect. But I do think that she 100% wanted to do this for Selena at the end of the day. Whether people think that she was made to do it or the decision was out of her hands or, there were outside, voices coming in to try to tell her to do something, I don't know. But this is just what is out there. Clearly, the whole internet is in a frenzy over Selena and her friendships. And I want to know what you guys think about all of this, including if you guys watched the...
Okay, so she's just wrapping it up.
Yeah, I wanted to say, just in regards to Francia doing this for fame, she's famous. Well, she's famous in her own right. She's an actress.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit unfair, perhaps. Doing an Elle interview is not going to this is propelling somebody to the ultimate stardom. And if anything, Selena doing an interview about Taylor Swift being her only friend is probably more of an attempt to become not famous, but be relevant personally. So I think if you're accusing one, you got to accuse the other too of why are you saying those things to the press? So I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I think they were like, what do you call actresses that work together? Colleagues? They were colleagues.
Yeah.
Or some
co-workers.
Whatever they were doing, I don't remember exactly. But no, Francia is still she's acting. She's acting in many things. So she's not like a nobody, if that makes sense. And if anything, she just didn't want to, at least that's the narrative that I've come across, that she didn't want to be known as Selena's kidney donor.
If anything, but to me, it's if I gave my kidney to somebody, I have lifelong rights to say whatever I want from that point forward. If you want a part of my kidney, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to explain my side of things about how I feel about my own kidney being given to you. That'd be in my contract. Don't tell me I have to be well, I don't want to upset this person. No, it's my own I'm half of this equation too. I'm half of the surgery. I'm going to tell people how I feel about it. That'd be my take.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just think it's kind of odd because, obviously, it's a big deal to go through surgery like that and not to put it in a documentary. Are you telling me just
Red
more
flag.
visiting your school where you went to school is a lot more important than having kidney transplant, that you have to do it? I'm not saying it's not good to visit your old school. Sure, why not?
Self-indulgent a little bit.
But yeah, there were so many scenes of her going back to her hometown and visiting former neighbors or their parents or whoever was still around. There were several scenes like that. I'm so you have multiple opportunities for that, but you don't have 2 minutes to talk about the kidney transplant. And Francia is not at all in the documentary.
Not at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Just raises a red flag to think okay, so she says this thing about she only has one friend, it's Taylor, in the industry. And we could go, well, she's in the music industry versus the entertainment industry. But I think even their response, sorry, I didn't talk about everyone I know, sort of confirms okay, so she's not saying of course I love it. I meant to say this and I didn't mean to hurt her feelings. She didn't say that either. So I think it's safe to assume maybe there's some bad blood going around there between the two of them, Francia and Selena. But then, the addition of not being in the documentary just, again, sort of maybe pushes that narrative forward. There's something going on or something happened. I want to know, I don't know if you've covered this, Cam, or looked into it, but I want to know about the drinking, because someone in the comments said that it does drink. That is interesting.
Yeah, there's speculations about this. I don't know. The thing, I feel like it's not clear. There's some speculations that she went to rehab twice, but she also went to psychiatric hospitals for her bipolar. So I'm not sure if people, when they think she was hospitalized, that they're thinking she was hospitalized for drinking rather than for bipolar or so I personally just don't know enough about it, to be honest. That's why I didn't really the only thing that I saw was a TikTok that she made, and then she later explained that this was a joke. So yeah, I don't know, potentially, but then I don't know. It's kind of a shitty thing to do if you just take someone's kidney and then ruin it. with alcohol.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's like if you're on the transplant list and well, I don't know the rules. I shouldn't say this, but I've heard, maybe I'm wrong, that if you smoke cigarettes or something and you're trying to get a lung transplant, they're not going to put you on the list. Like you have to give up certain things in order to qualify for someone to give you, even if it's a afterlife donation, like they still will consider those factors. Are you drinking? Are you smoking? Are you doing these things? So to, after the fact, participate in any activity that could make you have to have another one later or ruin the one you've gotten, I just think that's unfair.
Yeah, if that's what she did, it's pretty bad. But I personally have not received or have not seen anything that is like a full-on confirmation.
Yeah.
I've only seen things that speculate on it. So at this moment, I don't know that it's fully true, if that makes sense.
And here's another thing that probably is controversial. Lupus is very, as she said, very misunderstood or not understood very much. I don't understand lupus, and I've heard that it's like sort of a name for a disorder where it's like there is no testable thing. It's not like, oh, she had kidney cancer or like kidney failure. It's like lupus is like an overarching name where you don't really know what it is. It's like an undiagnosable, something's wrong, we can tell, but we don't know what it is exactly. So it's interesting that they would have a transplant for that disease.
Yeah, frankly, good point. Because in the documentary, the way she explains lupus is she's very tired and she has like muscle and joint aches, like really bad. When it flares up, it's really bad. And she's like, she was crying in one of the scenes with pain. So I'm not sure how that goes from chronic pain to kidney transplant. So maybe that was separate. But she when she talked about the kidney transplant, she only talked about it in terms of lupus. We saw the post. So I wonder.
Yeah, like I've heard of lupus before. Obviously, I had a coworker that has it, and she struggled with like flare ups and going to the hospital and stuff. But I even went to like a walk at some point. So I not that I have a whole lot of experience with it, but I remember hearing like that it's sort of like an oddity. It's not like a concrete like this is breast cancer. Like it's much more nuanced, and it depends on who you go and see doctor wise who's diagnosing it, from my understanding. And this is from lupus.org, the website that she had mentioned, Selena mentioned in her caption. And it just says, lupus is a chronic long-term disease that can cause inflammation and pain in any part of your body. It's an autoimmune disease, which means that your immune system, the body system that usually fights infections, attacks healthy tissues instead. Lupus most commonly affects your skin, joints, internal organs like your kidneys and heart. Because lupus affects many parts of the body, it can cause a lot of different symptoms. Learn more about symptoms. So yeah, it's very, in my opinion, up in the air about what it is and what it could be. And it's interesting, yeah, that they would go to the extreme of surgery and bringing a donor in.
Well, I think, regardless of whether this was related to the lupus or not, clearly she had failing kidneys. So,
is that clear though?
Well, yeah, they wouldn't do that surgery unless she had failing kidneys. They would never do it.
But why? I don't know. I mean, but why were
So
they,
could
why are
be
they
like
telling her about donations? I don't think they would do that either. That's why I'm sort of like just kind of confused about the whole thing. Why would they tell Selena, "Hey, we found a match"? I don't know. Maybe I'm too down the rabbit hole of like conspiratorial.
No,
thinking.
I don't think that. So I think in terms of the medical code, at the very least, my sister's a doctor, she's a dentist, and she has told me about this. Like they have this like sworn thing. I don't remember, the Hippocrates or something, which is when they swear, basically that one of the things that it includes is that you have to save what can be saved, if that makes sense. Like you're not gonna just like, even she does this, like even with my teeth sometimes, she'll be like, if there's like the tiniest chance that we can save it, we'll try to save it, because your natural thing that is in your body will always be better than, and like a foreign object, or like regardless how great an implant is, your tooth is better. So
Sure.
things like that. So it's kind of like in the medical code that if her kidneys would not be having an issue, a serious issue, they would not take them out, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that is legal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I wonder about that is like, you know, like, I don't know, like, okay, you want to get your boobs done, you want a boob job, they're going to put in saline, whatever, or silicone. It's like, okay, that's not necessarily like saving anyone or doing anything. They'll take out your, or you can even get now, you can get your height done. Like you can, if you're, usually it's men, I guess, but you can, they'll break your femur and then they'll like put a rod in it and you can gain like up to 6 inches or something. So they're taking out parts of your bone.
I think I've seen this in some random TV show.
I was
that
reading
was
about it the other
making
day.
fun of like short people or something. This was a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was called, but like I remember being horrified at this idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on. This is going off topic from what we were originally talking about, but I think it's interesting and I want to talk about it at some point. Okay, this is a person who got the surgery. It's from BuzzFeed. So he was 5'7". After surgery, he'll be 5'10". Originally designed to correct mismatched length in legs, limb lengthening surgery has become more popular for men looking to permanently increase their height. And I remember seeing photos of like their before and after photos. Okay, I think this is the guy who does it. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
How is this? This is impossible. How is this?
Well, I guess they break the bone, so you have just like really long legs. It doesn't necessarily match proportionately, but let me find the pictures because they were very shocking.
They
here, BBC.
surgically remove your bone and
They
put
break
like,
it. Yeah.
like something else instead.
Sure.
Well-
Yes. Yeah. So here's an example. Here's a guy who got it apparently this is according to the BBC. So before and after. So he definitely looks taller. This is what it looks like, I guess. So yeah, if you want to put metal rods in your legs, I mean, but people were doing it. I don't know.
Awful.
That's just one of those examples of like, okay, those people don't necessarily need that, you know, to live. They just want to be taller. So it's elective surgery. I wonder if you could get elective kidney surgery. And I'm not saying that's what she's doing. I'm like, this is just me being like, I'm interested to know more.
Well, I don't know, but this sounds insane to me. I don't know that this surgery you just showed me is legal. I think this should be legal in every country.
Well, America's the
On the
wild, wild
planet.
west because we don't
Yeah,
have
that's
a,
true.
you know, national medical system. So it's like this guy who's got a medical degree can do what he wants, and this person, like, there is certain rules, obviously, but you know, ethics
Imagine just getting
are different.
surgery to like increase your height and not even going to 6 feet.
Yeah, like that guy, 5'7" to
5'10"?
5'10", 3 inches. Well, I have to find the article, but I read it was like there's two different surgeries that you can get like 6 inches or like a full foot or something, or 3 inches and 6 inches difference. And one is much easier on your body and the other one's much harder and harder recovery. But if you're like really short and you want to go up that much, it's possible. It's just much more difficult.
I'm wondering if it's because like maybe your muscle can stretch a little bit, but like how much can it actually stretch? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. Very weird, but it's like that's, you know.
I thought this would be impossible. I'm shocked that this is possible.
The
Like there
height
is
one?
no way. There is no way that guy didn't have issues later. No way.
Guess we'll find out. Guess it's worth it.
Gosh, oh my
I don't
God.
know. I don't know. I shouldn't be saying
Medicine needs to
anything.
stop sometimes. Like
People
it's
have
going
different-
too far.
People have different things. When it comes to medical stuff, it's very hard to like pass judgment because it's like, I don't know. If you really had a huge issue and you wanted to get something taken care of, like, who am I to say, no, you shouldn't? But I do think it's risky no matter what.
If your torso is incompatible with your new longer legs, you can get a torso probably
Torso
a
injection. Yeah.
torso stretch. They put you in like a torture machine and they just drag you.
I guess they said the article that I read like 2 months ago, it said that you just look disproportionate, but if you have clothes on, you can't really tell.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And I
everybody.
guess for some people it's better to look disproportionate than to look short. So
Yeah.
Jesus, what? I'm short. What's the problem with being short?
It's
There's
not a
nothing wrong
woman's
with being-
concern. It's a men's concern, I think, for the most part, I would imagine.
I don't know. Men should worry more about their personalities because they're fucked up sometimes. I'm
It's
sorry.
never bothered me to date a short guy or tall or whatever. And I've dated both, like tall and short. I've never had oh my God, like this guy's so tall. But a lot of my friends through the years, they're like, oh, how tall is he? That's like the first question they ask. Like, how tall is he? Oh, he's 6'1". Oh, hot. Like, okay. I don't know. So I know it's a real thing.
Nah, I've met plenty of tall people who are absolute children at heart.
Yeah. Like it's never, I don't know. And women are
Being
like, I don't want to wear
stonewalled
heels.
by one right now.
Really?
Yeah,
Short
a-
king?
No, tall.
Oh, tall king.
I'm like, exactly. It doesn't matter if you're short and tall if you have a shitty personality. Like it's just
Yeah, it's
You
all
know.
about humor and personality. Come on, everybody. In reality, that's what you're going to be dealing with 99% of the time, not their height.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you
I'd
know.
rather have like a nice guy who's like short and instead of having to deal with toxic tall men.
Yeah, toxic men generally. And the thing is, and this is this is a judgment on all women, every one of them. I'm just kidding. But I think it is unfair for women to feel okay to insult men for their height and then be very insulted if they were to say, well, you're overweight or whatever. It's almost as bad or worse to be like, well, you're short, because like you literally, unless you go get the surgery, you can't do anything about that. And
Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes as women we think like, well, people shouldn't criticize us, but then we feel totally fine to criticize men and for their looks and for their baldness and for whatever. It's like, I don't think it's fair. I don't want to necessarily say you can't insult somebody for their looks, because do whatever you want. But I don't think it's like, well, you men are just horrible and all they care about is looks. And then as a woman, you're like, well, he's short and bald and ugly. It's like, how is that
I
better?
mean, we are all as vapid, just as vapid, to be
Yeah.
honest. We're all like into looks and whatever. I mean, it's not something we can remove from our personalities. We like what we like. We're attracted to what we're attracted. But I only insult men for their baldness when they're toxic.
Yeah.
I don't insult bald men when they're not toxic.
Just insult their
actually think-
toxicity, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but like when they're toxic and you can actually throw in a punch about being bald, you're like, oh, is that why you don't have any hair?
Yeah.
Then like it's just such a worthy.
Someone said this to me before, that I have just internalized misogyny, and I just gotta disagree. I mean, you can think whatever you want, but I don't think it's fair. How is it fair to go, women, if you cannot say anything about me, like if you say to me, as a man says to me, you're fat and ugly and you're whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm offended by that. But then I go back and say, you're bald and short and stupid. Oh, that's acceptable. How is that fair? Please explain, somebody, how that's misogyny. I don't get it.
I mean, I think we probably do have internalized misogyny, but I don't think that's where it shows up. You're just
Yeah.
trying to be like, yeah, no, but you're right. We are all fucked up, like both men and women, and non-binary people. I don't think
Yeah.
there is anyone. It's just it's part of human nature, really. Like, there's nothing we can do about that. Like, we're gonna be judgy. And this is why I hate sometimes when they're like, you shouldn't be judging people. You shouldn't be choosing men for their looks. It's like, you can't not. You can't, like, it's literally impossible. You have
Yeah.
to. It's a primal thing. We're like animals. We're not these like elevated. Like, we're just animals with instincts. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, that goes into the other conversation on the other side of things. It's like, are we not allowed to have preferences? Because if we're not, then it's almost like anyone that approaches you and like is hitting on you or whatever, it's like, if you can't say, no, I'm not interested for whatever reason I come up with, then isn't that like taking away your consent, or like someone to be upset? Like, well, she should be interested in me because I approached her. If we're not allowed to make those judgment calls based on whatever we decide, then it's almost like, okay, so I have no choice. I just have to what, sleep with you? Like, I don't know. There's that whole conversation as well about like,
Or that conversation about, but I was nice.
yeah, I just, no one
She
likes
just
the
like
emptiness.
led me astray. She was nice and a woman and talks to me, and she then didn't want to sleep with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard this conversation, and I've heard like the more sort of insidious part of it, with like when basically people were accusing someone for that she had a preference for white men and she's black. And of course it gets very complicated
Dicey.
because then you
Quickly.
get, you have to like talk about like black culture and blah blah blah, but like I just don't know like what you can do. Like if you're attracted to what you're attracted to, I am attracted to like skinny, very like men that look like they're about to die. Like they need they need to be very pale. They need to be very like, big dark circles under their eyes. That's just kind of like, it looks like they've been up all night.
They look like they just got a kidney transplant yesterday.
They look like they've been coding all night. That's what. And I find that so attractive. I'm like, sexy. That's mine. And
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
yeah, so I don't know what I can do about that. Those are the men that I gravitate towards. And I'm trying to go towards like, more healthy looking men. But it's not
working.
Like I think I would love to be like, yeah, this is doing it. It's not doing it for me.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's this nuanced topic. It is like, preferences and physical judgments. And I don't know the answer. I have no idea. But I just think that you should be allowed to think what you want. You should be allowed to say what you want. And it shouldn't be judged based on what gender you are and what gender they are. I just think that becomes like silly over time. Like, or race or whatever. I don't know. Like, we have to admit, yes, there are physical preferences. Number one. Number two, those are going to differ from person to person. But to demonize somebody completely and go, well, you as a member of your group, it's worse for you to insult me than someone else. I don't know. That's my hot take. I got to think through it more before I come out and say, this is how I really, really feel forever.
But since we're on this topic, I think maybe we should go into the next one, because this is an interesting sort of, definitely not the same thing, but Nikita Dragun.
Oh, yeah.
So today's topics, by the way, you guys, lots of drama, lots of internet drama, lots of influencer drama. So Nikita Dragun, I don't know if you guys know, but she's like I'm sure you know, like if you know me, like you definitely know who she is.
Yeah.
She is like a big deal on YouTube. She's a transgender woman.
Sorry.
And Nikita was 2 days ago, she was arrested was it in Mexico?
I thought it was Vegas. Or no, Miami. It was in Florida.
Miami, sorry. Yeah. Where you are.
Yeah, basically.
You guys got her. Okay. So there is a video. Basically, she was arrested. Apparently, she did a lot of things. Like, she was walking naked by the pool. She threw a bottle of water at a waiter. She threw water on the waiter and on a police officer. Like, there's just, I don't know. It sounds like she was drunk or doing all sorts of things.
Yeah,
But
she was allegedly walking around the pool area naked, causing a disturbance. This is from pedestrian.tv. I don't know what kind of
there's
website
like,
that is.
sorry, I don't know why I put that one in, but there's more like legitimate news about this, so it's not untrue what they said.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
So
okay.
So the problem with this, and I guess why it became really viral, is that when she was arrested, she was put into the men's unit.
In jail, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's a video of like the Zoom
And Your Honor, may I ask one question?
court proceedings.
And Your Honor, may I ask one question? Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still? Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but I just offer accommodation for you. You just need a separate.
Okay, so that's the judge saying to Nikita, like, I don't make the rules, but you can talk to someone else about it.
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting because like I don't get it. She's like a very female presenting person. Like her surgery was like a long time ago. Like she does not look at all like her former sense. Um and yeah, it just feels like unfair. It feels like that was particularly like purposeful to put her in the men's unit.
Yeah. This is her Instagram. I don't know. I mean, the thing with the jail system, she's in jail. She hasn't been convicted of anything. So basically it's like until you post bail, they put you where they put you. And sometimes they put you in a private room, depending, like on a holding cell alone. Sometimes they put you into a jail, unit. And I wonder why they decided to do what they did, if it's like on a legal paperwork or something. I don't know what their protocols are. I'm curious about that, because prison, that's different. Like prison, if you're convicted, your lawyers can negotiate like, okay, they need to be in this protective unit. It's much more involved. But when you're in jail, I mean, people are in there. Like if you got drunk and you drove and you're like out of your mind, they'll put you in jail and like in a unit or a drunk tank or whatever. You might not even know your first name, and you're in there with like someone who might be going to prison for murder. They're all mixed in jail. Like it's a weird place. So there must be some sort of procedure, I'm imagining, that they look at your social security number or something and they just like put you wherever that tells them to. I would imagine. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, or they asked her and she said she's transgender, and they're like, yeah, right, whatever.
But I guess
I have no idea really what happened there, but clearly even the judge did not want to tell her. There is a bail, like $2,000, I think. And yeah, I'm pretty sure she's out by now, but
I would imagine, yeah, it doesn't seem like that serious of accusation. It's not like, she was accused of murder or something crazy. It seemed like, indecent exposure or something, which is nothing, but it's not like,
Yeah, and they also accuse her of battery, apparently, because like she threw a water bottle at people. I don't know. It kind of like I am not a fan of Nikita. She's just a lot to deal with, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of speaks to the lack of regulations, I guess, in terms of how to deal with people who are transgender, or if there are regulations, they're not being respected with jail.
Yeah. This article says Miami-Dade Corrections denies claims Nikita Dragun was held in men's jail. So this is from the NBC affiliate down in that area. Says her publicist told numerous news outlets that it was disturbing and dangerous for her to be held in the men's unit in jail. Corrections officials pushed back on that claim. Okay, it's sort of important that we read this part. Miami-Dade Corrections officials are disputing reports that transgender influencer and YouTuber Nikita Dragun was held in the men's jail unit following her arrest in Miami Beach. Dragun, 26, was arrested Monday for disorderly conduct and battery on an officer after allegedly making a scene at the Good Time Hotel on South Beach. According to an arrest report, Dragun was walking around unclothed and causing a disturbance in the pool area of the hotel. When officers confronted Dragun, they noted she acted arrogant and ended up splashing water on an officer and a security guard, police said. In bond court Tuesday, a judge asked Dragun how she would like to be addressed. She and her, the YouTuber, responds. Okay. Although Dragun's arrest affidavit noted they appear as a female but would like to be recognized as a male. So that could be, that's written in by the police. So whether that's true or not, sort of is interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that she would not want to be recognized as a male.
Yeah, that's sort of confusing.
That's the whole point of being transgender and female presenting, so that nobody confuses you.
Yeah, and that would, like I said, would be written in, I would imagine, by a police officer on the scene or a sheriff, deputy, whoever was there. Excuse me. So, okay, I'm not going to totally believe that necessarily. During her bond court appearance, Dragun asked the judge, "Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?" Her publicist told numerous news outlets that it was disturbing and dangerous for Dragun to be held in the men's unit in jail. But according to Miami-Dade Corrections, Dragun never was. Quote, "Inmate Dragun never made it beyond the booking process prior to release. Therefore, she was never placed in a men's unit," corrections spokesperson Juan something said in a statement. "All inmates undergoing our intake process remain in an open seating booking area in the presence of correctional staff." That's what I was wondering, because like it seems like the fact that she was in court so quickly, that the fact that she'd be in a big unit at all was sort of surprising. So I'm not saying she's lying, but I'm just saying that this makes me think like this is what I would expect to happen in that situation. So interesting. Then it says, okay, this guy Dia Grandios added Dragun was placed in a holding cell by herself due to her high profile status before being released, and that she was escorted by an LGBTQ officer throughout her time at the facility. Miami-Dade Corrections and Rehabilitation Department is committed to protecting the rights of the transgender community and all of LGBTQ people, the statement read. MDCR has procedures in place for the appropriate intake, housing, and medical needs for transgender inmates, and we are committed to ensuring that all inmates in our custody, including transgender persons, are treated appropriately throughout our intake, classification, and placement process. NBC has reached out to Dragun's publicist and not heard back. Her bond was set at $2,000. She has since been released from jail. There you go. Interesting. I mean, that sort of I mean, they're responding to the allegations, and that is a good response, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like it is. I'm just curious, like, because when she does ask in that clip, and that clip is very short, but when she does ask, "Why am I in the men's unit?" Nobody says, "You're not anywhere. You're not in the unit."
Well, yeah. The thing is, the judge wouldn't know. The judge isn't the one that's deciding where you are. Do you want to watch the longer clip?
Yeah, let's watch the longer one.
Okay. So I remember seeing a little bit. I haven't watched the full clip, but the judge could say, and I don't know what she says, but, you know, hey, go and speak to the corrections person. They are the ones who decide where you go. I mean, a judge can only do so much she's just dealing with the appearance section. She isn't, because she might be talking to someone who's in jail or someone who's been on bail, or it depends. Like, I don't think she has any control over anything. That's just my 2 cents. Okay.
Can we just confirm how
Page 6.
Like to be addressed?
Page 4.
It's a little confusing.
What'd you say?
Sorry, the volume was down.
Hello? Ma'am, you were arrested for battery on a corrections officer, disorderly conduct, battery on a law enforcement officer, disorderly conduct, and then a battery in violation of a county city ordinance. I will appoint the public defender's office for you.
It looks like the defendant.
Nikita, please do not make any statements or comments while we're here in court.
You want me to
about
call
what
you
happened in
miss?
your case, okay?
Or what would you prefer me to address you as? Your title?
She.
Can't hear, I'm
So
sorry.
it looks like she's here
Oh,
on.
she and her.
Oh, okay, that's fine, thank you.
It looks like she's here on vacation.
Oh, from New
Thank you.
York.
Right, and there was an incident at the hotel.
So let me read what happened. The Good Times Hotel. Okay. The battery is throwing water or spilling water at the officer and the security guard.
No objection, reducing bonds.
You're going to order that you stay away from the Good Times Hotel. Do you have to go there to get your personal belongings?
I do.
All right. So you're not allowed to go back there, but you can return there to get your personal belongings. Otherwise, you got to stay away from there. And if you go there to get your personal belongings, I don't know, you want to stay away with her? She doesn't live here.
I mean, I think that she caused trouble at the hotel. I don't think they want her back there. And I don't think it's too restrictive.
All right, so just go there to get your personal belongings. You should go with a police officer, okay?
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the staff. They've been very lovely.
All right, let me just write this out. I don't know. What do you want me to do?
You just reduce the bonds.
Do you have money to post the bond?
How much is it?
I don't know.
I was thinking 1,000 count 1, and then 500 2 and 3.
That's
Okay,
fine.
I might have to check.
$1,000
consider
count
an
1,
ROI?
500 count 2, 500 count 3.
Okay, not to take away from the point of this discussion about whether, you know, she was in a men's unit or not, but isn't she like very famous for being rich and she's not sure she has $2,000 bond?
Yeah, no, I think what she means is like she doesn't know if she has it on her.
And she also got a public defender. I'm sort of surprised by that too. Like she doesn't have a lawyer that she would call.
I don't know. That's when she
Just
said she
surprised.
doesn't know if she has the money. I just thought she doesn't have it on her because yeah, she definitely has.
Well, no one
She's,
has
like,
$2,000,
pretty
but
rich.
you get your guy to go and get it and post bail. Like you can go to bail bondsman, but like I don't know, just interesting. I don't know. I thought she was like a millionaire.
She probably is. She has a lot of money. Yeah.
I'm surprised. But okay, but then the part about the unit stuff's coming. But the thing is, like, again, like if she can't post bond, which would be surprising at that low of an amount, there should be no worry about any, like, after you see the judge, you post your bond, you leave. There's no like overnight stay most likely at that point if you have $2,000.
Right. Okay. I'm pretty sure that somebody could be sending her the money. I don't know. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what
even
that
like
was.
if you go to a bondsman, from my understanding, like you only need to put up like 10%. So even if it was like $10,000, she could put up 1,000, and then they have to pay back the rest as a loan. It's not great. It's not a great system, but at least it gets you out of jail for the day.
Yeah, I just also think that it's kind of extreme to like to put her in jail for that. It just seems like she just threw water at someone.
Well, there's 3 counts. It's like, so she's got the indecent exposure. I mean, if you touch a cop, you're going to jail. Like they're gonna put you in jail. That's how, especially in Florida, like you can't even do anything. Like if you touch a cop, like you're screwed.
Right.
So water, they're like, oh, it's assault. And maybe, but the thing is, like, the charges may be dropped, you know, whatever. Like, they probably won't stick. The judge seems to, like, roll her eyes at, like, okay, the battery is water. All right. If you get a lawyer, they can probably get rid of that. But, you know, if you're causing a disturbance at a hotel and then the cops show up and you're acting disorderly and now you're throwing stuff, they're going to put you in jail, as opposed to maybe they would have just got you to your room and said, like, stop. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving too much credit.
Yeah, she must have been like saying things like if she was, you know, being obnoxious and stuff that just pissed people off. Because like, I don't know. I feel like if that was like just taken out of context and you just threw some water at someone or you walked naked or whatever, I don't feel like people would go as far as taking you to jail for that. But if you're also being obnoxious and yelling and saying all sorts of things. Oh, and in a different article that I read, she basically was like closing the door on in their face, like when they were at the door, and
They
just
don't like that.
I think she was being obnoxious, pissing everyone off. So probably that's why they took her
those
to jail.
drastic. Yeah, I agree. I think that sounds right.
Judge, would you consider an ROR?
I can't do that for this charge. I'm sorry.
And the defendant's not from here, so
I can't. I got to set a bond. It's a $2,000 bond. If there's any reason you can't afford to pay a bond, use the free phone at the jail to call the public defender's office, and they can readdress this with your division judge. All right?
And Your Honor, may I ask one question?
Sure.
Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?
Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but they should make a proper accommodation for you. You should be in a separate area. You can contact the bondsman to try and get you out. Miss Corey, do you want to note your file that makes to follow up to make sure she's able to get hold of a bondsman to bond out?
Yes, Judge. Miss Dragon, could I please have your phone number or contact number that once you're out, we can get in touch with you?
Yes, ma'am. It's the same one I've had my entire life.
So when you get out,
I thought they were going to show the number. I thought we were all going to start texting her.
Yeah, I would be screwed if somebody would ask me like, "Can you give me a phone number that I can call on your behalf?" I would be like, "I don't know a single one."
Yeah, I
Like-
have no idea.
Like once upon a time when I was in school, high school, etc., and we were calling people on the landlines, I knew everyone's phone number by heart.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Now I could be like in danger of death, and I would not be able to recall a phone number.
I know all my like childhood phone numbers, but I don't know anyone's in my life's current phone number. Don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Just click the button. Click on my phone. Call. That's how I do it.
Yeah. If I lose
okay.
my phone, I'm screwed. Like I'm dead.
Same. Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know. This one seems like maybe there's a story here. Maybe there's not. I'm not convinced either way. You know, I think the fact that the publicist didn't respond the second time to the article being written, maybe it's a pink flag, maybe it's a red flag, like that it actually wasn't as dramatic as it appeared in the beginning. I think if it's true what the Department of Corrections guy in Miami said that they did and what happened, if that's true, I think that sounds fair.
Yeah, but I don't know, just the way that she asked the question makes me feel like the question was quite like genuine, because she just was like, do I still have to stay here in the men's unit? It just felt genuine, but she could also be acting, I guess. So I don't know. I did believe it when I saw the clip. I didn't have like, like any instincts that is like she's lying or she's making this up or she's trying this for fame or whatever.
No, but maybe it wasn't even a unit. Like, I don't know what time she was there or whatever, but maybe it was like that holding area where you're stuck there. You can't leave. They're processing your fingerprints, your photo. You're just sitting in a chair in like a big, like almost like a, I don't know, like a cafeteria or something style thing if you're in school. And you're sitting there waiting for them to bring you into the room where you have to go talk to the judge. And if you're like, she's going to get out, that's what the judge said, just get out, call a bondsman, like, okay, your bond is set now you can leave. There would be no reason to go back or to go into a unit of any kind. So
she looks like she's wearing
jumpsuit. Maybe that's because she was naked when she got in there. I don't know.
Also, by the way, did you guys notice how much Kayla knows about this being in jail situation?
Yeah.
I wonder how you know all these details, Kayla.
I don't know. I've watched many a show about the inside. But the biggest misconception is that jail and prison are the same thing, and it's not. And there's a lot of issues regarding that. Like jail, people are held in jail for years because they're waiting their trial. But also, you don't usually go to prison, almost, I would say never go to prison until you've been convicted of something. And a lot of people want to go to prison if they're going to go somewhere anyways, and they are screwed. You want to go to prison because you have more rights, you have more open space, you have visits, conjugal visits and things that are in prison. So jail is like the worst because it's like they don't even know who you are yet. You're like not even in the system yet, basically. So it can be chaotic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, this is fun. I love a good prison talk.
Yeah. Anyways, I could be completely wrong. I only know a little, but
yeah, I don't know anything. I did know this though, that it's different between jail and prison. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I guess more will come out, I'm sure, on this, and we'll get some clarifications.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll
I don't know
see.
what to think.
Me neither. Who knows? Speaking of criminals, I'm just kidding. He's not a criminal. Jeffree Star, he's a fashion criminal. He should be going to fashion jail. Just kidding.
Well, so Shane, our lovely Shane Dawson. I don't know if you know, Kayla. I don't know how interested you were in drama a couple years ago, but like some pretty big things happened in the drama community, in the makeup community.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 years ago, some things that were so big that they have come to be known as Dramageddon 2.0.
Mm-hmm. I know a little bit. I know about Tati Westbrook was mad at James Charles, and that was something. And then there was Shane Dawson was involved, and Jeffree. And Shane Dawson was doing these YouTube documentaries about Jake Paul's being a sociopath, and the other YouTuber who's a therapist was secretly monitoring him and doing all that unethical shit. And then there was a makeup palette, and then the makeup palette was like something, I don't know. That's all I know. That's my basic understanding.
Right. Okay, so you've just conflated the two now.
Oh.
But basically what's happened, the Tati and James Charles situations, that was Dramageddon 1.
Ah, okay.
This was Dramageddon 2.
Okay, thank you.
So Dramageddon 1 was the catalyst to this whole thing. And it all started because James Charles had the audacity to post an Instagram story about somebody else's gummy vitamins.
I remember that.
That were not Tati's vitamins. And Tati got pissed off, made a YouTube video, and essentially called him
a predator.
Something like, didn't call him that, but just sort of the way she spoke about him, insinuated that he tries to have sex with straight men or something. I can't remember exactly the details, but like, because there's been so much in this, there's literal channels that have been dedicated to Dramageddon. There's like hours and hours of content. This is not easily summarized in like 10 minutes, but
yeah, there's many layers to this.
Even I covered it, very, very loosely. But if you want to know about how this whole thing started, Smoky Glow on YouTube had like a lot of videos that were very good, just kind of staying on top of things. So basically, Dramageddon 2 was about the palette that you mentioned. The conspiracy palette. Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star came together and started working on this conspiracy palette. And in the midst of this, they released some documentaries, as Shane calls them. They are by no means any fucking documentaries. I'm fucking sick of all these YouTubers calling themselves documentary makers. Just like,
they're just long.
Away.
Yeah.
There's people who actually know how to make documentaries, and you're not one of them. They're just promotional pieces. They're like, anyway, let's not get derailed right now. But sorry, my voice is just, this is a great time for me to talk a lot.
I know. Bad timing.
So Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star make this whole thing. They brag a lot about making money in it at the time. They, even in this current situation, they've been bragging a lot about it. So basically, in this whole thing, people started to ask themselves, like, why is Shane coming up with a palette? Because Shane is not a makeup YouTuber. He had hinted at the fact that he wanted to start a makeup channel and that he likes makeup and experiments with makeup. But it's kind of bullshit. The channel never started. There's never been a video on it. So it was just kind of bullshit. But he wanted money. It was a money grab. So they did that. They released the palette, but throughout this whole thing, a lot of things started to come out about Shane. A lot of people started to go through the former videos that he made for years, and he had done blackface. He had there was a whole thing with like Jada Pinkett, not Jada. I forget what her name is. Like Jada's Willow Smith, yes. Yeah. Where he was sort of, I don't know exactly what he was doing, pretending to jerk off at her poster, and she was 13 or something. There was a lot of disgusting things that came out, really. Most famously, D'Angelo Wallace made a video at the time that was like 10 million views or something, like, and he compiled all of the major accusations into something. So it was kind of a lot. They both got canceled. And now they're making fun of it. They call it BC, before cancellation, like, so now for some reason Shane has come back, and I think this also has to do with money. I think he's run out of money,
of course.
he's come back with 2 episodes of this series. The first episode is called The Cancelled World of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. This is kind of not a good title because this one is not really about Jeffree Star. This one is just really purely about Shane Dawson. The next one is a lot about Jeffree Star, but the first one is just Shane Dawson. So I'm not sure why he calls it The Cancelled World of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. Like,
For
Jeffree's not
the words, probably, for the
for
SEO
the
of it.
algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah.
He starts off, as you can see, with a Buffy ad read.
I was gonna say, how does he get ads and we can't? Come on.
Oh, we need sponsors, you guys. Yeah.
He's got 9 million, or no, 2.9 million views on this video, so I get that. But I will purposely not buy a Buffy because I don't like Shane Dawson, so I don't know if it's working. That ad is actually working for them.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like both these videos are on the trending page. So,
Yeah, but it's like they're associated with this guy. Fuck that company. That's my take on it. Like, ugh, I don't want to buy something that someone in their marketing department thinks, yeah, let's get on board with Shane Dawson's return. No, thank you. Buffy's canceled.
I think he still has fans. If that's the problem.
Who?
Don't know.
Children? I don't know who would like him. Sorry.
Oh,
I shouldn't
there's
say
a
that.
drama channel that is a big fan of him.
Ew.
A drama channel that spoke against me at one point. But
is it?
we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay. They're idiots.
Mysterious Tea was what they're called. I don't know if I think now they're just Mysterious. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But Mysterious is a big Shane Dawson fan, and they've been defending him for years.
No,
so,
thanks.
anyways, he starts off with a Buffy ad read. I watched these two, you guys, for this moment, and now I can't even speak to say what I think. I'm struggling. So, after talking about the Buffy ad reads, he starts talking about his podcast. So he's pushing Buffy, he's pushing the podcast. He's making this big deal about how he has a lot of clothes, even though he wears one black t-shirt. But he has all these clothes for a podcast. Because that's where people see you on podcasts. And they know what you're wearing.
Well, his husband has a podcast, and it's always a video that I've seen, always. So I guess in their mind, podcast is sort of like what we're doing, like on camera.
They want to push the YouTube podcast rather than the podcast.
I love my outfits for podcasts.
Yeah, me too. Look at that. I bought it especially for this moment.
Yes,
I'm not.
same.
I don't even think so, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So ad about Buffy, ad about podcast. Oh my god, these documentaries, I don't know if you've ever seen one of his. They drive me nuts. Like, they are so hard to watch. I cannot stand them.
This is my interpretation of a Shane Dawson video. I'm so poor. I'm so poor. And then the person behind the camera is going, and then he's like, anyways, zoom in, zoom out, jump cut. Jeffree, hello, Jeffree. Hi, I'm Shane Dawson, and I'm making a joke here. I'm so fat and poor. And then it just goes on and 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 on, never ends. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's all. This is this documentary. Like, he spent half of it saying we don't know what this documentary is gonna be. So I was like, well, that's great. Yeah, that's fun. 17 scenes about how they don't know what they're gonna put in the documentary. It's like, this is what you chose, like this.
Yeah, I just wish people wouldn't watch it. I mean, we're watching it right now, promoting them, but like, I just feel like the only way we can like get rid of these people is like stop watching their stuff. Just do not give them any attention whatsoever.
Yeah, says
Then again,
us.
says us
who's
bringing attention to this issue.
Anyways, he wants to call this like a day in the life. This first one. That literally has nothing to do with Jeffree. That was it. What you saw Jeffree showing up out of the car, that was pretty much all of it. Like, the rest of it has nothing to do with him. He doesn't show, except for like here and there. Let me see.
Are they getting a baby? That's the other thing I heard about.
He's making the announcement that they got a puppy, they're having a baby. Basically, they're getting a surrogate, and
Gross.
you know, they're on the journey at the moment.
I say gross because he's accused of like discussing underage kids, you know, in a very derogatory way. So him having a kid kind of concerns me, but that's just my personal take.
I know. I'm pretty disgusted with this man. I don't know how so many people love him. I just honestly don't have no idea. He's got still 20 million subscribers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, how? Like, he's been, so many people I've seen the stuff he's done, and they're still subscribed. Like,
he's still funny though. A lot of people are
he's not
idiots.
even funny.
No, I know. I
not
agree.
even a little bit funny. Like, it's just, I honestly have no idea.
Yeah. And did you ever see I don't remember where I watched it, but I think maybe it was in D'Angelo's video or somebody, but he made a movie one time, and they did a documentary about him making the movie, and he was like the biggest asshole ever, and like wanted to star in the movie, and also thought like, you know, these real people from like the industry, like directors and producers, were trying to like make the movie better, and he kept saying like, I know best, I am the star, gross, I can't.
Yeah, he's so relatable. Like, did you see?
Hold on, I need to play a
So
soundbite.
relatable.
Hold on.
I want to throw up. Hold on.
Sorry. I find him, I don't say this about many people, but I find him completely repulsive. Just as a person, not even looks wise or anything, just like as a personality, I'm just like repulsed immediately.
Yeah, I cannot stand the guy. I don't understand how he's got 20 million subscribers still. I'm like, it's beyond me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Anyways.
And anyway, one part of the film that he says, I wish I put this timestamp on this. I have some timestamps, but not like only like a couple of them. But anyway, he says like something like, I spent all my money, and I'm like, oh, this is why he's back. So and this is why he's coming back with like sponsorships and like pushing all these things. The entire piece is about how sad it was that, you know, he got canceled, but he grew so much, and like blah blah blah. He's happier than he's ever been.
Why is that always the measuring stick for like canceled people? Like, oh, they're actually better now. It's like, yeah, that wasn't the fucking point of canceling them. Like, the point was because their behavior is unacceptable, but they always come back and say, I'm just so much better now. It's like, yeah, we don't give a shit. Like, thanks for letting us know, but that wasn't the point. Sorry.
I think it does help with like some of the people that are still liking them. Just kind of gives them a reason to like keep watching, so that they don't feel like awful people. But anyway, and the big reveal of this. Talking about the money grab, Ryland's mom. This is where I feel like it's just so calculated the way he goes about it. And it's, you know, social media is people's jobs. I understand that it's calculated, but the way he did it, he wants it to address the money grab, the fact that people have accused him that the initial documentaries with Jeffree Star in the palette were a money grab, which they were for sure. He goes to Ryland's mom's house, and they're saying, obviously, they're like his in-laws. So, of course, you know, they love him, blah, 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 all that stuff. Saying nice things. He's capturing all these nice things on camera, puts them in the documentary, and has Ryland's mom say that she couldn't believe that they accused him of a money grab. And he was there being like, I just didn't want to address it. Like, I just don't even, it's not, I'm like, what is this? Why are you talking about it in the documentary if you don't want to address it?
Yeah, that seems like, hey, it's almost like someone else did that recently. Oh, people were saying, this is totally off topic, but people were saying that Glennon Doyle, she made an accusation, like she kicked someone off her podcast or something. But instead of like her taking the heat for doing that, she like put it on her sister or something. And I find that so interesting. It's like when you do something that's like sort of, you want someone to, I don't know, take the heat for something, you end up like going, well, tell them about me and why I think this is something the way it is. Like, it's almost like people who don't want to have any responsibility will like put it onto someone else, which just sounds like what this is maybe. Like, hey, get your mom to say, I didn't go for it. for the
Yeah,
money.
this scene right here is where they talk about that, which are the one you're showing at the moment. If you want to play some of it.
This is where I get in trouble because I like to speak up and I can't say it online because I had to quit talking online because I would like things when I, you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I stopped online. So during the Jeffree series,
Okay.
do you want to talk about that?
What about it?
Okay, so I always feel like people acted like you did this big money grab, and you won't address it. Plus, you haven't talked about it with us.
No.
And I don't feel like it was a money grab, but you never address it. What I felt like happened is you started that documentary with Jeffree Star, and you went into it, and then you really got interested in what he was doing, and then it became a business opportunity and kind of something like you get really excited when there's something.
It's almost like you got interested and then smelled money and then you continued to pursue it by any means necessary, even when the documentary turned out to be a complete nothing burger, whatever they call it. That's like so you. That's so you. You just care about money. I mean, you just care about people or whatever.
Yeah, totally. Let's keep watching because this is.
I feel bad even watching this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck at all. Sorry, not about you and you're like watching this together, but like I just hate everyone that's in this so much.
You want to make it something of your own, and you want to see what.
Oh, Balenciaga hoodie. I just want to make this my own in my Balenciaga hoodie. Shut the fuck up.
You know what I mean? But for people to say it was a money grab has just always made me so mad, because to me it was more about, gosh, let's see really what we can do here together and what will happen if we do this. It wasn't like, oh yeah, let's get rich off of this whole makeup thing. That wasn't it at all. It was more excitement, and it was excitement for the whole family.
Shut up, bitch, as they show footage of them on a private jet. Come on, give me a break, lady.
And they're like putting this very sad music on. And then he says,
I can't.
And then he says, we didn't even make that much money. We only made like 30 million. And
stop.
But we had to pay like 20 million for the, whatever.
For the workers to do it and the scientists to make it. Yeah, because you guys have no fucking talent other than just talking about your own lives.
Though. That is bullshit, though. I don't believe it for a second that they paid, because like the makeup is not well made. Like there's been people who received the package and there were like hairs in it. Like it wasn't high quality. Like it's just very like cheap quality, if that makes sense. So I don't believe for a second that they paid 20 million on the making of the makeup. So anyways,
I mean legal fees. I don't know. Anyways,
maybe. Let me see. What else did I write down? Oh, the point of this whole thing. Did you feel? Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you feel like between the Buffy ad and the podcast ad and the Shane ad and all of, and the Jeffree ad, and everyone was just nice and had great intentions, and they were just canceled because we're mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's space for one more ad? Or
yeah, definitely. There's always a space for another ad. There's 53 minutes of worth of space in this thing for an ad.
Yeah, well, you're in luck.
Oh.
You're in luck because the whole point of this series is to say that back then, 2 years ago, pre-cancellation, when they came out with the conspiracy palette, they actually had another one.
Oh no.
Yeah, they had the second palette that never saw the light of day.
Oh no.
But guess what?
What?
It's gonna see the light of day now.
Oh my god! Yes!
Woo! How lucky are we?
Oh my god. Hold on, I gotta find my soundbite for this. Wait. Oh no, I don't have it. Wait, hold on. Hold the excitement, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
So fucking grateful.
Right? Like, yes. I mean, can you imagine just how sad and disastrous it was that they only made $30 million from one palette, but they had another 30 million in the making right there.
Thank God.
But they didn't. they didn't even show it because they were being canceled. So
now they're like, we've waited long enough.
Yeah.
We're coming back. I hope it literally fails so epically that they end up completely broke and have to sell their properties and move into a 1-bedroom apartment together.
Well, it's probably not going to be the case if I'm going to be as realistic as I usually am. But
That's a good still
just
frame.
can you imagine just the like? Did you see that? Okay, because it made my blood boil. I literally wrote in my notes, "My blood is boiling." Can you imagine having that scene with Ryland's mom being like, "People were accusing you of a money grab when you made only 30 million," and it's like, you could have made money so much easier. Like, how exactly? How much easier?
How?
Make 30 million easier than that? Like, how? I don't know. But after that scene, imagine being like, you guys, we have a second palette.
I mean, at this point, they might as well go for it. Like, just they might as well try because they're both sort of on the outs of the in crowd, I think. And isn't Jeffree like living in Wyoming and not even involved anymore? So like, what does he have to lose? And then Shane, he's either gonna like succeed or not. So he might as well have a product to put out there. I mean, I get the business sense of it, but I just think it's like horrendous,
It's despicable.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm not interested. I mean, I'm not their target audience, but like, no, I don't like this at all. Thank you.
Thanks, Yaga Baba Violeta.
Yaka baba. They say little something so you can buy that palette. Thank you. I'd rather burn the money without even.
I'll put it in the trash.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's pretty much the same spot anyway.
I will slowly buy you a boat.
I'd rather buy myself a boat and jump off of it than use that palette.
Just how freaking despicable is that? Like, I cannot believe it.
People, I think, I feel like my whole experience on YouTube, creating content, whatever, doing this thing, it has led me to the conclusion that the more you're able to accept negative criticism and withstand like judgment from people and whatever, the more successful you will probably be. Like the more just you don't take anyone's advice but your own, you're going to succeed apparently, because these people who continually make these huge mistakes, they get involved in all this drama, they hurt people's feelings, they steal money, they go to prison, they whatever. The longer you just stick on that road, eventually you'll keep making money somehow. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. People will stick by you somehow. So don't try to take responsibility. Don't take accountability. Just do whatever you want and you'll probably be more successful financially than someone who's like, I really messed up.
Exactly. I think it's actually like rewarding the opposite of what we think it should be rewarded. Because like
Totally.
we're all thinking, what would be great to have like nice people be actually big and like whatever. No. You are only rewarded if you're problematic as fuck. So
Yeah, totally. I honestly, I'm not even saying that as a joke or to be like, controversial. Like I really believe that. That's what all of this research has proven to me, that if you have the balls to keep going, and that maybe that's what the whole like self-help industry is really saying, but they're not saying it. They make it insinuate, like when you hear Mel Robbins or Rachel Hollis or Dave, any of these people go, don't stop, like keep going. You think of it as like, oh, like I'm running a small bakery in, Columbus, Ohio, and I have had tough times, but I'm going to keep going. That's what you think of. But in reality, it's like you insult an entire group of people. You do a money grab makeup palette. Don't stop. Do another controversial thing that hurts people. That's like the true message that they're delivering, that they should be delivering. Because if you go, wow, I hurt people, I need to stop doing what I'm doing and like really take accountability and look at myself, you're not going to profit. So that's not a good thing to do. Just keep being problematic. That's the lesson here.
Agreed 100%. Thank you, Maddie.
Yes, thank you. Maddie says, I'm so glad we're covering these two. They're unhinged. Definition of cringe-fluencer. I agree. This is what I have to say.
Unfollow me.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the fucking thing that makes me just, it makes me so angry. It's like he comes up with this. It's on the trending page. Both of them. YouTubers put them on the trending page.
Because
Like,
they profit
Jesus
too. That's the
Christ.
thing. They have the same thing. Don't stop creating this crazy content. We'll put you on the top page. We're going to profit. You're going to profit. Everyone profits, baby. It's frustrating.
Yeah. It's
Sorry,
so,
let me cut you off.
I hate it. But it's generally just hurting like so many people that I know. And I feel like maybe myself included, because like I don't have controversial things. Maybe you know what? Maybe I should just make them up. Just like do
That's what
whatever.
people do. People already do that. I'm convinced of that as well. Half the time people post stuff on Instagram, I'm like, you don't believe this. You're just saying this to get people like us to share it and go, this is crazy. And then eventually they'll have somebody that's like, yes, I agree. And then they're going to just become rich somehow. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like I should do what Dad Challenge podcast does and invent things. Be like, somebody told me, somebody went to this person's house and they told me that they lock their kids in the room and that when they make the food, they throw the food in the trash and they don't give it to the kids.
Someone told me that.
No, somebody. I can't disclose my sources. I care about my sources.
But like, what happened to him? Nothing. Like, even a cease and desist.
He
Like,
got
you
a cease and
gotta.
desist.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like anyone that gets a cease and desist, and this is like, you know, a hot take again, but like, if you follow what the celebrity is telling you, cease and desist, you're gonna also suffer. You need to just continue to do it, because if they take you to court, like, so be it. Because otherwise, like, they control everything, and it's just, you gotta just. I think if you want to profit, I'm not saying if you want to be happy in your life, if you want to profit from the internet, you got to challenge these people completely and just go, okay, let's go to court, or double down and say the craziest shit about them. Because look at Kanye. I mean, yeah, he's lost a bunch of deals, but you're going to tell me that he's not going to somehow still make a ton of money all the time? I don't believe that.
He makes loads.
Yeah.
He posts daily, sometimes multiple times a day, making up all these things about people. I mean, I'm not saying he makes up everything, but like he clearly does make up some things, because how could he possibly know what they do in the privacy of their own house unless those people speak about it publicly, and they haven't. So
there's no reason to be careful, because the media industry has been so eroded of trust anyways. And I say media industry like in a wide sense, but even, you know, bloggers and people who have news outlets and things, like, there's no consensus on ethics. Everything is dealt with in the courts, and it's so confusing because there's not even like any, I don't know, like, this is all still so new. So the fact is, like, right now, currently, until regulations come in, which may or may never come, you should put your infant baby, you should, this is my, I'm probably gonna someone's gonna take this out of context and be like, she's insane, but whatever. If
that's
you
okay.
wanna make
We've
money,
got the Kia chewing on babies thing.
Yeah. There's another
Don't
baby
worry, you're getting
take.
canceled for that one first.
It's another take on babies. If you want to profit, here's my coaching tip for the day. If you want to profit and make a ton of money, and you're a woman and you can get pregnant, have your baby on live stream, right? Live stream the birth of your baby. Immediately put every single affiliate link product for your baby online. Videotape them constantly. Make them funny and create all these dialogues about them. And then as they grow up, consistently put them on camera and just take every sponsorship you probably can. If people want to pay you to have like a private membership for your child, do it, because those people are paying for your, you know, success, and you should do it. If they ask questions of them and like you want to put them in little outfits, do that too. And then on top of it, if someone says don't do that, keep doing it and profit. Now I'm just going off and off, but like basically just anytime you think something's wrong, do the opposite and just do it anyways, because that's how you're going to make money, because that's how this system works for some fucking reason.
Yeah, exactly. And great point from Complicated Phoenix. Just adopt them and give them back, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way too.
Okay.
Like, and do you think she was coming out with like another channel? I'm like, are you nuts? Are you nuts? But apparently, yes. And that's the best way to be. Be nuts.
Yeah. Literally. And go against everything you've ever said, you know, like... if
Like, I
you
never
ever
said
have-
that.
Like the next thing, for example, Dad Challenge podcast, you know, he starts a channel called Dad Challenge. tries to make vlogs about his family, puts his family on his channel, but then he fights against the exploitation of children. So, you know, that's just because the vlogs didn't hit. So
Stand for nothing, you know, just have no morals. I mean, honestly, that is how you succeed here. If you want to be a decent human being, you're not going to make it. You're not. That's how I feel about Hollywood too. If you want to have like morals and ethics, you probably will not make it in that world as well, because it's so corrupt. It's so like just burnt from inside. That's how I feel about the internet too. Really. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty annoying, really, that this is what happens. Like I don't know. I'm struggling because I don't do these things, and I feel like I've done so much. I spent so much time, literally years, on my channel, like doing actual research, reading full books. I would be like, I can't really talk about this book unless I've read to the
Bad
last
idea.
page. Just doing everything like the right way, just making sure I know what I'm talking about, making sure that I don't leave things out, making sure that when I don't know something, I mention it, I make it clear so that people know. Nobody cares, like, not nobody cares. People do care, but like the algorithm doesn't give a shit. So
you're not rewarded financially for that.
no.
Not whatsoever. Not in the world. And people will say you're lying anyways. And you go, no, here are the facts. No, that's a psyop, or that's coming from a unfair source. It's like the thing on Instagram specifically too. It's like I follow a lot of new age people. No matter what argument you post against them or were to propose and say, well, this is what this study says. It's like, oh no, the study was conducted by, unethical people. It's like, okay, so you can't trust a study. But then when they have a study, it's trusted and it's great and it's amazing because it proves their point. So there is no point of even arguing with anybody because no one will accept your proof anyways. It's like, the world is completely upside down. It's going to continue to be that way. Look at Twitter now is like a nightmare. Like there's people, did you see what happened yesterday on Twitter? How you could like verify any account essentially. So there was like all these accounts that were like verify. I don't know. I saw it on Instagram. It was like, I don't know. It was like, BP Oils, like they made a fake account with a verified check mark and it was like gonna blow up the oil rigs. Like just like it's just complete lunacy.
I don't know if I knew about this, but I read something that Elon introduced the gray mark or something, and then they immediately realized it was a bad idea and they took it out. Is that what it is? Or
I don't know. They had the verified thing. You could pay to get it done and you just had to pay money, but then like you could change your name to whatever. So for like a certain amount of hours yesterday, there was like some crazy, like things that were going on. I'll look it up real quick.
just, yeah, lovely. Well, the fact that Elon's in charge of Twitter I saw him rant about this because he posted a tweet being like, it's funny how people say they hate Twitter on Twitter. I'm like, shut up, Elon.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know.
shut up. Nobody fucking cares.
If Twitter like ended tomorrow, I don't know if I would be that upset about it. Like I know like a lot of people use it to, organize overseas and do things. And I know it's important for that. But for my own life, I could care less if Twitter was gone, to be honest.
Yeah, I go on it very rarely.
Yeah.
I deleted my account a long time ago and I have this like fake account just to see some things when they only show up on Twitter or something. But like, I never remembered to like actually go on it. It's just, I don't know. It's very toxic, I think. I prefer Instagram.
The only reason I even have Instagram is that I can message on it and I can see other people's crazy content. But for my mental health, I don't think it's good. I think it's horrible for me. If I want to live a happy life, like I should get rid of it. But
oh, Insta, yeah,
and all of it, all social media. Like honestly, like YouTube's one thing. I do like YouTube; it's different. But like the rest of it, it's not good for myself. I can't handle it. I don't know if I was born into it, maybe. But since I lived life before it, it's like I think things were better before, in a lot of ways. Not every way, but a lot of ways.
The comparison fatigue does kind of hit. Yeah, social media can be very bad. Like you just have to be very, very diligent with what you allow on your feed and stuff.
I
And
agree.
even then, they come up with like their own, like, I don't know when exactly this happened, but at some point, Instagram decided that they're going to show me all things that are not my friends. They're like just random people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm only happy for the memes, which is what I share. Follow me on Instagram, by the way.
Yeah. I need more followers though. So follow me. I don't know. I feel like I'm in like a weird mood
I don't
today.
even know if I need more followers. Like, followers on Instagram do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's
for what purpose?
like
It's
it's
just
not that
vanity.
it's like it's not. I love to speak to people on Instagram, so there is that. But it's not that it counts for like. I've never made a single cent from Instagram, not in any way. So
Yeah.
it doesn't
same.
matter. Like, that's why I have no. I say that every once in a while, but like, I literally makes no difference to me if I have like 1,000 followers or 2,000 or what's the difference?
Yeah, I agree. And I like when people send me tips and stuff, and I like interacting on Instagram. I'm there all the time, constantly, but a lot of it is like just the further confirmation of, yeah, this is a really screwed up thing and there's nothing being done about it. And I fear that we've already tipped over the edge of misinformation, and I don't know if we can come back from it without completely eliminating the platform, which is like, I don't think that's the best idea either. But like the amount of people who I see on like these Gaia like related Instagrams, like people who are watching that there's like Bigfoots walking around and that we're all aliens, and then it starts getting picked up by these more mainstream people. Like even Rachel Hollis is talking about, like her source energy, and she believes like that, her birth time is related to her being a Capricorn and how important this is, and we need to get this out there. It's like, oh my God, we've gone off the edge. There's like there's no reason whatsoever anymore. There is none, like 0%. And no one's even thinking clearly. It's like, I don't know. I know I'm going too far, but I'm frustrated by it.
Let's talk about the second episode of this Shane series, because I watched that too for you guys. I did so much work today.
You did.
I really did. Like, I sat there in a very toxic environment, might I say, with a man stonewalling me.
Oh, God.
And I was just writing down notes from the new world of Jeffree Star.
Is it about this one?
So the second one is actually about Jeffree Star.
Okay.
AKA good enough to have his name in the title.
Mm.
But again, starts with Buffy ad read. So I guess Shane probably got a good chunk of money from Buffy for this one.
Gross.
For both of them, actually. Create some confusion about whether this was Shane who wanted to come out with this palette or Jeffree immediately, like within 5 minutes. I'm like, because in the first one, it kind of came across as if Shane really loved these colors and he wanted to put them in a different second palette because the 30 million was not enough, and so it kind of came across in the first one as if that was Shane's idea, but now suddenly change of heart. I don't know exactly which one of them. I'm confused, and it's only 5 minutes in. Jeffree is hurt because the cancellation. He has clips of him crying. They of course include those because this is a documentary piece.
Mm-hmm.
So the part that is interesting about this is actually Jeffree's life, because it's so radically different than it was before. He moved to Casper, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
He bought a farm.
He's got yaks.
He's got yaks. He's got this giant farm. And it's so different than he sold all of his purses. They were like Birkins and things like that. He said he made millions from selling all his things.
Great.
And he said, he said he had a scoliosis and then had a car accident and fixed the scoliosis somehow.
God really picked his favorites,
Oh yeah, he really did. So now has an electric car. He's a man of the land. It's a truck, electric truck. Frankly, that was interesting because seeing Jeffree in such a different like environment. I feel like this had something. It was interesting to see that because I hadn't been following. I didn't know what he was up to. Like, I'm not interested in these people, like, really. So this was the first time I came across this. But now what he does is like he sells meat. He gets all these yaks to breed, has them cut, sells the meat. He's a businessman.
Don't they have
And at
enough
the same-
fucking money? Can't they stop? Like, do they
And
just
at the
have to
same time-
work? Ugh, God.
No,
sorry.
no. At the same time, he's also continuing to do makeup palettes and content for TikTok mostly.
These people are sick. This is a disease that you cannot just stop making money. I don't understand it.
They talk a lot about how hard it was to be canceled and blah blah blah, and how their lives have changed. And while Jeffree's life has changed, I don't know if Sean's life has changed really. Yeah, so now Jeffree, oh my god, this is so bizarre. Jeffree had a pistol in the car, and then when they got to his house, there was like machine guns on the counter.
Oh, that's good.
There was a whole section of him like giving the pistol to Shane and teaching him how to hold it, and
he's a Second Amendment warrior. That's good.
Yeah, apparently.
Like I said, did I not say this before? My theory that as soon as you get money, you leave the group that you originally like find yourself in, like LGBTQ or the gender group that you find yourself in, or your nationality, and you just become rich person. That's your whole identity. Sounds like that's maybe what is happening here as well.
Yeah, he even made the point that in Wyoming there's no gay clubs and.
He's like, I love that. I love the culture of nothing.
Literally, like if you can go to 3820, or I think probably round about there.
23. What is it?
3820.
Oh, 3820. Sorry. 3820. Okay, here we go.
Just a little vlog. Some guns. Shane, say hi to Diva. Oh, Chris, look, Diva miss Shane.
That was the
neighbors.
Sorry.
That was the part with the guns. I don't know if you saw them.
Oh yeah, I saw them. Wonderful.
Yeah. So I guess he's a dangerous man. You know, like we're capitalizing off of that now.
Welcome to America.
Okay, what else did I type? He's so mentally happy though.
Good. So glad
He's
for
mentally
him.
happy here with his yaks, cutting them, making them meat and jerky and all that stuff. And also being on TikTok. Yeah. And he's come up apparently with a lot of palettes since 2020, but I only heard about 2 of them. I only heard about, gosh, what's it called? Like cremation or something. Cremated, I don't know. And one who was called Orgy, because what I heard about that is that it's all the same shade of nude. So it's like this giant palette.
Just like beige.
That is, beige. The entire thing, same shade. Cremated. But like the other ones, like really just, I don't think they've sold very well because like didn't even hear about them. Not that I stay on top of makeup, but like people used to like review Jeffree Star makeup because he was relevant once upon a time.
Once upon a time. I don't even care at all. It's almost like making me angry to even like discuss them as if like it's worth talking about, because the narcissism is just getting to me. I think like I just did a whole thing about Bethany Frankel, and like her narcissism is bothersome. Rachel Hollis's narcissism is bothersome. These people's narcissism is like off the charts annoying. And I don't know, like it's making me like just hate everybody. And I'm like, I don't hate everybody. I just hate these people, but these are the people I'm watching all day long. And it's just like, it makes me really sad that they do get so many benefits in life.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's disturbing because like it shouldn't be the way it is, but I guess that's just something we have to reckon with ourselves. But it was an interesting point that I felt like it made me think, just when you have money, like you were saying, what do you do when you have so much money? Like, what do you do with your life?
Kill yaks in Wyoming.
You kill
Buy a
yaks
gun.
and make beef jerky now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they're like internally tormented, honestly, which does give me a little bit of like happiness. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being forced into watching it because of how the algorithms work, or forced to be interested in this. And it's like, this isn't what life should be about.
Yeah. And the big point that Jeffree makes is that YouTube is done.
Okay.
And
As he
is
uploads
done.
another video.
As he uploads a big documentary, 2-parter. No, but he's done with YouTube, but he thinks YouTube is no longer relevant. Also, Netflix apparently is not relevant. Like, okay,
Only
I don't know.
yaks.
I think
Yaks
some
are
people
relevant.
still care about Netflix, and who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
yeah. And we had a big reveal of the palette in the field with cows, and apparently Jacqueline Hill is gonna come somewhere. I don't know, to promote it. I'm not sure. But yeah, they're gonna be selling this palette, and people are gonna buy it, and it makes my blood boil.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing too is like, oh, this is also like a persona that he's putting on. Like, at first he was, I'm just like this super diva. Look at my closet. Look at my Louis Vuitton. Look at this. Look at my Birkin. Okay, now that's over. Now I'm in Yakville, Wyoming, talking about my yaks. That's his persona now. I just don't think these people have any personality because they're so obsessed with making money that they'll do anything. They'll create entire personalities, entire lifelines, entire narratives just to sell something because that's all they got. I guess. I don't know. But again, it's like, what do I have? Like, I have no money and I also struggle. So they must be doing it better. I don't know. I just don't get it. I feel like I was just, this is me, my existential crisis of the day. I feel like I was just lied to my whole life. Like going to these schools and them telling you cooperation and fairness and fucking raise your hand and wait to be talked to. Like all of these things that were programmed into my brain for so long have led me to absolutely nowhere other than continuing to struggle. It's like, they should just teach everyone to be narcissists because that is what you need to be. If you want to be a leader, you got to be a narcissist. If you want to make money on YouTube, you got to be a narcissist. If you want to have a clothing line or whatever line, you have to value people's lives so little except for your own. That's how you make money and that's how you get ahead in this world. And it sucks. I hate it. I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I do think it's so out of left field for Jeffree what he's doing now that it does make me wonder, is this real? Like, is he actually interested in living in Wyoming and making beef jerky? Is that
only if people care about it, I guess. If only people validate it, probably.
Well, I don't know, because the thing is, I feel like you could have this whole idea, I suppose, to be like, okay, look, we're gonna show people in 2 years from now, we're gonna come out with a documentary and show people how much we've changed. Let's do something so drastic that it does look like we've changed.
Yeah, everyone wants that. Oh, go to watch this show Intervention. Everyone wants to watch them come out of rehab and be calm and collected and like, oh, I've done the work. I'm different now. And I feel like, that rehab experience that people want to see and that it is real in those cases. But I think that's what these influencers are trying to recreate. Like, I've gone away to my meditation retreat. I've gone away from the spotlight. I've done my introspection. And now I'm back to do exactly the same thing that got me in the situation in the first place. I'm back to profit and get validation and post on YouTube and have you buy my shit. And let's just start the process over again. I'm ready to start all over. It's like,
Yeah, and at the same time saying he doesn't want to come back and that he's not getting views like he used to and blah blah blah. They're all very sad about their views being low. It's like, shut up! I'm getting 1,000 views of videos. Just, I don't care about
Only
your
2
only got, like,
million.
2
Yeah.
million.
Mm,
Oh,
so sad.
but that being said, I do think that there is something to that because people did see who they are and there lots of people were put off and well
Yeah,
I'm sure that they are still gonna get some money from selling this palette and whatever. I don't think it's gonna be nearly comparable to what it once was, you know.
Yeah, and maybe that's the silver lining. It's just a little bit worse, but still better than most people's situations financially.
Yeah, but they're still gonna pretend like they're such victims of the situation and poor them. Look how much they've been punished. Maybe they only make like 10 million.
Oh,
Can
horrible.
you? It's so sad. My heart breaks. Seriously.
But I'm sure if someone at the factory that's making this makeup asked for a $10 an hour raise, they would be completely like laughed out of the factory and been like, "Are you insane? We can't give you that. We need to profit this much." It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. But they pretended like they spent 20 million. Shut up. Like it did not spend 20 million on that ridiculous palette.
Yeah.
It's just a palette. Like it's not that expensive. But talking about employees, I think it's important. There was one more.
Oh yes.
One more news article that I posted there because this was interesting. This girl Madison was
I'll be
Jeffree's.
right back. I'm so sorry. I have to pee so bad, but I will hear you. Maybe. Hold on.
So I don't know all of the details, but I think we will read this once Kayla comes back. But Madison was Jeffree Star's assistant. 2020 happens, Ramageddon 2.0 happens. She quits. She then tries to work somewhere else. She then nothing. We don't see any of this because they were no longer in the limelight and all of that. But then she goes back to working with Jeffree, and she's in Wyoming with Jeffree Star. And they talked about how Maddie quit, but then she came back. They say this at least twice, but they don't talk about why she quit and what happened there. And this article has the details, I think. Profits over people always. Yeah, aren't we all sad for Shane? He only makes a few million. Super sad. Sadly, the shitty people are the loudest and it's easy to forget how many good people are. I agree with that. Kimberly, go for it. And Kimberly says, I want to start a YouTube channel to see how much money I could make by being fake. Go for it. Get rich, girl. Like, I think you you would probably succeed if you have to be good at it. You have to be really good at pretending. And I don't know how it's done. Clearly, I'm not a big talent with these things. Yeah, exactly. YouTube is a massive platform. He's just done on YouTube because people have seen his true colors and so on. And I agree with that because I don't think just because it doesn't work for Jeffree Star, it doesn't work for anyone. It's just.
Hi.
Hello. So, yeah, I was just saying, Madison was working for Jeffree. When Dramageddon 2.0 happened, she quit. She's now back working for him. They say this twice, that she quit and then she came back. But they don't say why she quit and all of that. And I felt like maybe we should read some of this article.
Okay. All right. Jeffree Star and one of his key confidants appeared to have split in yet another scandal for the beauty guru. Madison Little, aka Madison Taylor, or Maddie, was Star's longtime friend and executive assistant. It appears that she unfollowed Star in early December and may no longer be working at Star's company, Jeffree Star Cosmetics. A LinkedIn profile that appears to be Little's exists, and it shows that her tenure at the cosmetics company lasted from November 2017 to December 2020. During those years, Little frequently appeared in YouTube videos with Star. Quote, "You are one of the most caring and compassionate people I've ever met in my entire life," Star wrote in a birthday tweet to Little in December 2019. "I'm blessed to not only have you in my life, but to call you a friend. Can't wait to conquer 2020 together." The LinkedIn description for Little's role at JSC said that she handled Star's day-to-day operations, discussed and responded to offers, opportunities, and proposals for Star, and managed Star's home and office. In vlogs on his YouTube channel, Star and Little quarantined with him in his mansion during the COVID-19 pandemic. On December 11th, the same day fans of Star noticed that he and Little unfollowed each other on Instagram, Little posted an Instagram story of a quote that says, "Believe it or not, there isn't a single person you need in this life more than yourself. Put her first." Fans speculated that Little may not have wanted to accompany Star on his move to Wyoming that had been occurring throughout 2020 as he became part-time resident of the state. Little traveled with Star in the past, including on vacation to Bora Bora in November 2019. "Thanks, Jeffree Star, for being the best boss a girl could ask for and an even better friend. We have been through some crazy shit the past 2 years, but I wouldn't trade it for anything," Little captioned an Instagram post of her and Star at the time. Little didn't respond to requests for comments sent to her JSC email address, which still works, or to her Instagram. Fans of Star noticed that the pair had unfollowed each other around December 11th, which was 4 days after Insider reported that a leaked image of a cashier's check appeared to show JSC executive paying one of Star's sexual assault accusers. I missed a chapter there. Sexual assault accusers $45,000 earlier in the year following another insider investigation into Star. Little intercepted media requests for comment sent to Star as part of her role as his assistant. Oh. I did not know any of this.
You didn't know? Oh.
No, I hated him without this.
There's so much with Davy Vanity, and it was just a lot. But yeah.
I know he was like slinging slurs around back in the MySpace days. That's enough for me to be like, I'm done. Then the whole the whole Shane stuff turned me off. I didn't know he had a history of this allegations.
Yeah. Like I said, Dramageddon cannot be summarized very easily. A lot of things have happened. It was pretty wild, some of the things that came out, but at one point I did start to like feel a bit like, okay, are these things true, or like, because I think it was so confusing at first, at least with what's his name, the other one, James Charles at first, like he was accused of being all these things, and then he wasn't anymore, and then we were sorry for accusing him, and then other things came out, and I was like, wait, I was getting so confused. I was like, I'm not sure where we are in the story. Is he or is he not someone who does all these things?
Mm-hmm.
I was left in that state of confusion.
I still don't know about James Charles. I think the consensus, from what I understand, is that yes, but also he hasn't been charged with anything, so who's to say? But the rumor, like the unsaid rumor, is like, yeah, he talks to like underage guys. That's what I understood, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. There was also some guy who came out with some accusations, and then turned out that was a bit fishy. So I don't actually know at which point we stopped. Because at one point we just forgot about him and nobody cares. So
Did you read this part about Star's accusations?
No.
It says, okay, I kind of want to read it. So sometimes reading stuff out loud helps me like comprehend it much better. If I read it to myself, I'll like get distracted. But if I read it out loud, I tend to like hear myself and like digest it. Okay. We know who he is. Okay. They avidly consume his makeup, product reviews, and tours of his $14 million Hidden Hills, California mansion, and have helped launch his status as one of YouTube's top 5 earners with an estimated $17 million in revenue from the platform in 2019. But Star, now 34, built his beauty empire out of the success of an earlier career as an electro-pop musician during the internet's MySpace era in the late 2000s. He was known back then as a scene fixture whose merchandise appeared in Hot Topic stores and who performed at Warped Tour concert series. The online persona Star, cultivated during that phase of his career in his early 20s, was shocking and violent at times, with public videos of groping episodes and racist outbursts. I know about the racist ones. An insider investigation suggests that it wasn't all an act. Several former associates say Star engaged in violent and abusive behavior on multiple occasions during the late 2000s, including multiple allegations of sexual assault. 4 people who spoke with Insider and Star said Star groped men around him without consent. 5 people told Insider they personally saw Star using a close-range stun gun or other tasing device to hurt and intimidate people around him. And 5 people told Insider that in 2009, Star used a taser on a homeless teen who had rejected his affections in a movie theater. That teen later stayed the night in Star's apartment and told Insider that Star gave him Ambien until he was intoxicated and forcibly performed oral sex on him without his consent. Several people and publicly available internet posts corroborate key components of the former homeless teen's account. In several letters to Insider, Star's attorney denied allegations of physical and sexual violence and questioned the reliability of Insider sources. After Insider detailed the allegations to Star and his attorney, several people who made on-the-record claims about Star's conduct contacted Insider to change their stories. Insider obtained text messages showing 2 of the on-the-record sources from this article discussing what they said was a $10,000 offer from Star to recant their allegations. 1 accuser and 2 claimed witnesses, all of whom had provided on-the-record accounts to Insider in which they said they saw or experienced Star engaging in violence, ultimately did change their stories. Jesus. While he's addressed racism in his past, Star has yet to reckon with accusations of physical violence. Star, whose full name is Jeffree Lynn Stiniger Jr., has previously faced waves of backlash over the racist persona he crafted to attract attention on MySpace in the late 2000s live streaming platform Stickam. Starting about 2004, the year Star turned 18, he began appearing in video footage online that showed him assailing people on public streets, sometimes holding a yellow self-defense spray canister and yelling the N-word at passerbys. Other clips from his MySpace era show Star mocking black women during comedic skits. So him and Shane Dawson have a lot in common then.
Oh, yeah, no, that's why they're friends.
That all makes sense, yeah. Star mocking black women during comedic skits, at one point suggesting that he'd pour battery acid on a black woman to lighten her skin. That's nice. Star often instigated public fights on camera, confronting strangers with racist and sexist slurs. He acknowledged some of the language he used in a 2017 apology video and denied being racist. Okay. In one widely circulated clip, Star appears to grope a man's penis on a 2009 Warped Tour stop. In a letter to Insider, Star's attorney said the video was of Star and a friend jokingly touching one another, which was then uploaded to Star's YouTube channel purely for entertainment. In the clip, the man pushes Star's hand away when he reaches down to grope him, and Star walks away saying, "I knew it was big." I've seen him grope both guys and girls, Zach Neal, a longtime former Warped Tour stage manager, told Insider. I think anybody that has seen him in concert has seen that. That's just part of his thing. Feeling people up and groping people and ass slapping and dick grabbing. Oh, it's a wonderful persona to have.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2008, Gage Arthur was a 17-year-old in Austin, Texas, with dreams of becoming famous on the internet. He began building a fan base on MySpace and Stickam. That year, Arthur's roommate, also a Stickam entertainer, invited a friend from LA to visit their apartment in Austin, Jeffree Star. Over the course of 4 interviews with Insider that took place during the summer, Arthur said Star sexually pursued him soon after meeting him, starting at that Austin apartment, even though Arthur identifies as straight. In 2009, Arthur moved to Los Angeles to join his more internet famous peers. Once he arrived, he struggled with homelessness and spent time couch surfing with friends. In November 2009, a little over a year after their first meeting, Arthur said Star invited him to stay at his apartment and the two shared Star's bed. On November 11, 2009, the first night that Arthur was to crash at Star's place, according to the public social media posts, Arthur and Star went to see a movie with 2 friends. During the film, Arthur said Star tried to hold his hand, but Arthur resisted. According to Arthur, Star attacked him with a taser in the theater parking lot after the movie in retaliation. That night, Arthur told Insider Star gave him Ambien pills until he was intoxicated, then performed non-consensual oral sex on him. Okay.
That's a lot.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that.
I knew
There's a
some
lot
of
more.
these.
Yeah.
I knew some of them, but still.
But again, none of this sticks. No one cares. That's the
No one cares
internet.
because he's
No one
a
cares.
changed man. He's a man who cares about yaks. Well, about the money that the yaks can
Yeah.
get him.
Yikes.
But yeah, imagine being someone who pivots from music to makeup to YouTube to beef jerky.
I think it's all an act. Honestly, if you had asked me, I think it's an act.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like even though he's not coming back, we're going to see some things of him coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Shane is going to convince him. And by the way, can I just say the way that Shane creates this tension in his documentaries, it's always like, oh my God, he's not gonna respond. Oh my God, like I don't know what he's gonna say. Like he's probably not gonna want me to show the palette. And like, oh my God, like 10 seconds later, he responds like, great, sure. That's not how you build suspense, you idiot. You have to keep it for like 20 minutes. You can't just like give people the answer in 10 seconds, and that's.
Apparently, they know better than us, Cam, because
I mean, they clearly, honestly, they do. They do know better than us.
Yeah.
They know something about how the things work, and we don't. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Can we find out, please? Before I get really pissed off with YouTube.
Just be racist and sexual assault people. That seems to be the missing thing that we're not doing enough of.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the heart, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I don't know if I can either, but I can try.
Just I'll clip myself, I'll film myself like telling toxic men that they have no hair.
They should get height surgery.
Be like, I love men. I swear to God, I have a thing.
I've been
I just love them.
canceled. Cancel culture. Your first thing to be like, cancel culture is so hurtful to people.
Yeah,
You can't say anything anymore.
Like my jeans ripped. I'm so relatable. I swear to God.
Here's my crotch. I don't care.
Yeah, there were so many sexual innuendos in both of them, and I'm just like, oh, it's disgusting. And at the same time, that fucking idiot behind the camera laughing so loud, just like, chill the fuck out, dude. It's not that funny.
Yeah, I know. That's his whole thing. That kid's probably like 16. They're like, let's hire someone and just make a bunch of jokes, and he's probably in high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the yaks.
That's Jeffree. That's Jeff.
Bonding with yaks. I mean, the yaks are beautiful. I'm sad that he's killing them for meat for no reason. I mean, I guess there's reason people want yak meat, but he could also just retire.
Is yak a different thing than cows? I thought it's the same thing.
I don't know. I guess the yaks are the ones with the big horns.
Or like the male.
I guess.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. There's also Highland cows that have a different kind of like this curvy, whatever.
Horns.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's different kinds of cows. Okay. I get it.
He's got, of course, an Instagram page about his farm.
Only 180K followers. Oh,
150. Nothing. That's probably. Oh, that's what this is.
That's what he makes. Yeah.
Wow.
Jerky and like minced meat.
A true entrepreneur.
Yeah, obviously, in everything he does. He made that point in the documentary that he's just so good at business that anything he chooses, he goes all in and makes it work.
I mean, I can't argue.
I swear to God, they drive me insane. Like I wrote this several times and it makes my blood boil. Several times I have it in my notes.
Yeah. Me too. I'm with you.
That's okay though. I can get over it.
Let's just kiss each other. We'll just kiss the world. We love it. We're so
Something
happy.
to talk to my therapist about on Monday.
Yeah. Oh my God, I know. My therapy is like driving me nuts right now because I'm like at the point where I'm like so fed up with everything, as if you can't tell. And she's like, okay. It's fine. I'm like,
Don't worry. When that moment comes, I feel like the period comes next. So
yeah, probably. Everyone
like
needs
every
to
time,
pay.
every every time I'm in like that really low, I'm like, oh my god. The next day, period. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we got this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that thing?
What?
Sorry, this might be too much for the men. Sorry, what men are watching us? We don't have men in our audience. We have like 90 something% women. But there was this thing that came out like recently. No, not recently, like a while ago, but I forgot to talk about it. But it was like was it a TikTok or something that they were saying that they compared heart attacks to period pain, and period pain
It's worse.
is like as bad or worse as a heart attack.
I think that
And
sounds familiar.
I was just like, oh, it's fine. Like heart attacks are fine.
Yeah, we're good. No problems.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
When I heard heart attacks, I thought they meant something serious, not like just a little pain.
Just imminent death. I mean, I guess that's the difference. Like a heart attack leads you to die, so that's sort of a scary scenario. But the pain of it, yeah, that sounds right.
It could also not lead you to die and just have it monthly.
A heart attack? Monthly heart attacks?
Well, I mean, how would I know? Because I'm pretty sure I had pain like that, but I would have never been like, this is a heart attack.
Yeah. In my
I would have been like,
uterus.
it's just I'm having a little pain in my heart right now.
Just having a little heartbreak right now. I'm having ghosting syndrome. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to blame everything on my hormones like Rachel Hollis does, but like, I don't know. It does make us have different
the
feelings.
hormones are real.
Yeah.
Like, not that you can do anything with garlic about them, but they're real.
At the same time though, I do find it to be hurtful to women when it's like they're so emotional and they don't have control of their emotions, therefore they shouldn't hold public office and whatever. It's like, oh my god. Okay,
if anything, it shows that we have more control than could be humanly expected of us to.
Agreed.
I show me a man that would to work and like do his like, please no, they would be in bed and crying and just wanting soup and
Yeah, I think part of it though, as much as I like to, dunk on men anytime I can, I feel like it is like a familiarity thing, like the heart attack versus the period pain. Like, when it's a period pain, like, okay, this happens every month. I've been down this road before since I was, a teenager, and now I'm a grown woman. Like, okay, like I know it, you kind of expect it, and it's almost like that, I think, is more psychologically relevant than like men versus women pain. Like, I think it's just, if men had a monthly pain cycle like we do, they would also not be as sensitive to it when they have a cold or whatever. Like, they just don't get sick as much. So when it happens, it's like more, oh my God, I need to be in bed and like not work and do anything. But women, I feel like, are expected to just keep going. So the expectation leads us to act the way that we do, versus they don't have the same expectations because it doesn't happen to them as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I would say though, with all the expectations that I will have a period every month, every time I get to those
think you're having a heart
low
attack?
lows. No, but I get to those low lows and I don't know what's happening, and I'm so sad and so upset, and like,
Yeah, it's true.
and it's like you know and you expect it, but it's still, you still have to go through it. So it's like, just the knowing doesn't really take it away, doesn't fix it at all. Like,
Yeah.
and even my sister, she'll be like, oh, don't worry, it's probably just your period or whatever. And I'm like, it doesn't help. I'm like so upset. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I know. I never know if it's just me, if it's a society thing. Is it a physical thing that's causing me to feel a certain way? Is it I need to change something in my life thing? Is there something I'm not looking at? Is it a deficiency of something? And it's like, there's no answers. You don't know ever. You hope it just goes away.
You hope it's just a period, because then it goes away. Yeah.
Because like right now, like I'm not going to get my period for like a while, and it's like I'm upset. So what is that? Now it's not my period. It's got to be something else. So what is it?
Like midway through the cycle, and
yeah.
I
don't know.
I feel like after, I don't know, it used to be that I was like in my early 20s or teenage years, I didn't even know when I would get my period. Like it would just happen and I'd be like, oh, I'm just in my period. Not anymore. Everybody, like now it's serious.
Yeah. Your
Serious
emotions
shit,
are
with serious cramps, with serious emotions, serious hormones. No joke.
interesting. I wonder if it's because you're older and it's like your body's like, we're going to bring this to your attention more. So you have to have a child soon. I don't know.
Oh my God. Well, my body's going to be like very disappointed. There's nobody to have a child with. So unless, I can do something with someone who's like ignoring me actively, how would
It
that
looks like they're
happen?
in the hospital.
Yeah, and they look like they're about to die. Yeah, I don't think they can.
It's a very interesting taste that you have there. I do appreciate your honesty.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know. I have to like warn people in case they ever see me with a man. They'll be like, "Oh fuck, okay."
It's me that's unwell. Don't worry.
I'm unwell on the
Mentally.
inside. And this is the representation visually of it. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Well, this was fun. Those were good topics. Very dramatic. Lots of
I
drama,
know.
internet drama.
Sorry, everyone, but I love drama. It's just it's part of who I am.
It's your passion.
It's me. I am the drama.
It's me. Hi. I'm the drama. It's me. Are you a Taylor
It's good,
Swift
yeah.
fan?
I don't know if I call myself a fan. I listened to a couple of her songs all
Yeah,
the time.
same. I don't care. It's fine. It's nothing wrong with it. I'm not against it. I just don't like. I listened to the album. It's like, yeah, it's okay.
I like Exile. Exile is good.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I like it, but I'm not gonna like cry
I'm
about
not
it.
nobody's fan.
Yeah, same.
I was Smokey
yeah.
Glow's fan, and she's no longer posting. She just posted recently, but
Interesting.
I tend to not be like, I don't know. I'm not a stan. I don't stan. I don't know.
There's two types of people in this world: stans and creators. So we must be on that side.
Clearly.
Two defined roles in life. That's what I've always said.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point. Yeah, maybe there's the celebrities and those who follow, and maybe I am a celebrity at heart.
Yeah, same. Me too.
I'm just the celebrity without the celebrity status and without the money.
That's why we have issues.
Yeah,
because we're deserving of those things. We just don't have them yet.
I am so deserving. I was born to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
Now I sort of I could never deal with fame. Like I just wow.
Doesn't seem fun.
Considering
really.
how upset I get over like 2 comments on YouTube, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, no. I could never.
Listen to my advice. Just keep pushing through. Never listen to what they say and just continue on. Then you will profit. Yeah. That's the secret.
It's not like I have a choice. Like if they show up there and I see them, that's me. Done.
Just gotta do more of what they're saying not to do.
Ah, I see.
Yes. That's the key.
Yep. So that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoy that.
Yes. Thank you for joining. It's on this Friday, the last day of the week, obviously. Sort of.
Yes.
I guess Saturday is technically the last day of the week. Why does that happen? Sundays on the beginning of the calendar? No. Why? I don't get it. Anyways.
Sunday is not on the beginning. Monday is. What calendar are you looking at?
The American calendar, we have Sundays starts the week.
No. Monday starts the week. What?
Look at any calendar. What day is in the first
I am literally
quadrant?
looking at it right now because I think you made me doubt myself. I'm looking at it right now at the Apple calendar. Monday is the first day.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Is this a Jesus thing? In America?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not like showing what I'm doing every day. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, hold on.
Okay, I'm sending you a print screen.
Sunday.
Wait, hold on. I need to see that.
That number 1 position right there.
No, incorrect.
Wait, are you looking at my screen? Do you see? How is it incorrect? It shows it right there. That's not what your calendar looks like?
Look at mine. I sent you it on Instagram.
Okay, hold on. I knew things were different between us, but I didn't know that our days were different. The beginning of the week. I'm shooketh. Hold on.
Wait, yeah, this is a calendar. This is correct.
Someone chime in here. Is this a European thing?
What do you know? This is the correct logical.
I agree. I've always thought it was stupid, but look at my calendar. Sunday 1st.
No. I don't know what this is. This is just get rid of it. Like it's bullshit.
We need to. I don't want to necessarily have this debate today, but I think we need to pursue this further.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
You need to learn that Monday is the first day of the week.
I really do wonder if this is like a Christian thing that's been pushed in America without even me knowing it. Like Sunday is the church. So church is like the number one thing you do. Maybe like the beginning of the week, church day, then you go to work. I don't know.
No, because like God said that he, if we were to go with the God thing in the Bible, that it was like something like Sunday was the day of rest. The last day of the week after he done all the work and created all the people and the animals and blah, blah, blah.
Lisa says her quick Google search says it's a European thing to start on Monday.
You guys, it's crazy. It can't possibly be that you guys start on Sunday. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, we don't do anything differently, but just the calendar is Sunday 1st, always. And Israel, they say it's the same way.
Wake up. It's Monday.
Wake up, guys. You've been lied to. We've been gaslit.
You have been lied to.
Big Google.
I can't believe they're telling you like Sunday.
Saturday's the Sabbath. Sunday's the day of going to church. Well, I know because if you're Jewish, you go to temple on Saturday, but your Sabbath is, I don't know. Actually, I don't know because you go to church, but you go to temple, but then does that count as also resting? Maybe.
I don't know. Like this is beyond me. Like. There's a reason why work starts on Monday, right? Like don't tell me you guys start working on Sunday.
No, church is Sunday. Not that I go, but going to church is like what you do on Sunday if you're a Christian. And then Monday work, yeah.
Right. No, you guys are crazy. No
yeah,
way.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
Incorrect.
Okay. Well, Wednesday is still the middle of the week no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. That's when Cringe-Fluencers happens.
Yeah.
And there's no debate there.
Hump day is Wednesday, whether you start your week on Sunday or Monday.
Exactly.
Well, thank you everyone for validating me and not validating Cam.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being wrong.
This is the real debate of this show today. It all led to this. What day starts the week? The great debate.
Imagine? Did you ever think we're gonna have a show one day where you're gonna talk about Mondays versus Sundays?
No, but here we are. Yeah, we should go on a calendar. Let's just look into the calendar and the origins, and I'm sure there's some sort of scandal at some point. Like, Dr. Kellogg back in 1940 decided to change calendars because more people would eat cereal. I don't know. There's always something like that.
I mean, if it comes down to a business, I would give it to them. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Agreed. Like we don't do military time either, which is I guess like I don't know, like 24 hours versus 12. That's a very much like a European thing or a military thing too, I guess.
Ah, okay. So you don't know what 4:33 means?
No, I'd have to like think about it. Like okay, so 12 would be that like 2:00, 2:30. Like I could do it, but I wouldn't. It's not like, oh yeah, that's afternoon.
Okay.
I had to really like think about it. Like,
Interesting. You guys live in a different continent, apparently.
On purpose. They do that so we're stupid. We can't go anywhere. We don't know how the world works. So we're like, we'll just stay
Oh, you
here.
also don't have the metric system, do you?
No. And that makes much more sense than the standardized system, which is like 1,428 paces of an army foot. It's a mile versus something that's divisible by 10 in every way you do it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, whenever I buy, and the UK also has, they do metric, but sometimes they talk in feet. Like, if you tell someone's height, you talk in feet. If you tell someone's weight or something, it's stones. I don't understand feet in stones, and I don't understand ounces and stuff. So when I'm buying makeup and something is like point something ounce, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what am I getting? Just tell me in milliliters.
Yeah, I same thing with like liter, like 2-liter soda. Okay, we do that, but then we don't do. I don't know. It's so confusing. It's like a mix of everything and nothing matters, and it's all confusing, and I don't get it.
Yeah, and I lied on this. Apparently, I lied on Hinge because I didn't understand this system in feet. So I thought I was 5'1".
Oh, what are you actually?
I think I'm 5'4" or something.
Okay, that's like what we're. Oh, you're always like, you're so tall. I'm like, I'm 5'5", which is not that tall, and I think you're probably very close, based on photos I've seen. And you're like, no, you're so tall. I'm like, oh, okay. Now
I don't understand.
The truth
I
is,
don't know what that means.
That makes much more sense, though. I will say.
And I got told off by a guy that I went on a date with.
You
Because
lied.
He expected a minion. And I showed up being like, hello.
Damn. Catfish.
Yeah. No, but I just didn't know. I knew my height in centimeters or in meters, but I just didn't know what feet are. So I was like, this makes sense. 5'1". I can't be 6. So
you can't be a basketball player. Yeah. Well, it's like temperature too. Like when we try to, like, you're like, oh, it's very warm here. I'm like, oh, and you're like, it's 30. I mean, 30 here is like freezing. That's like the freezing temperature. Like if you're 32, you can have snow, Fahrenheit, and then Celsius 30 is like hot.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to convert it either. So I'm like trying to think like, okay, yeah, it's.
This does not make sense, the Fahrenheit thing. Because like when they measure temperature, they measure it in Celsius. So why are they telling you it in a different thing?
I don't know.
When
I don't know.
If you ever had like one of those mercury things.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you have the mercury things in Fahrenheit?
Yeah, of course.
Oh
It's usually both.
No. Oh.
I feel like we've designed the system just so we're honestly so annoying that we don't get along with anybody. Like I know when you fly a plane, like if you fly a plane anywhere in the world, you have to speak English, at least enough to communicate. Like in America made that like a rule. Like that's the language of communication is English. And I feel like, I don't know, like our standards of things don't even make sense anymore, but we're so like imperialistic that we're like, we're going to do what we want to do no matter what. And that's why we haven't switched to metric, because there's no logical reason why we couldn't or shouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole English thing, it used to be French. That was like the most spoken language. It was Spanish at one point. Now it's English. So I think it's just a matter of trends sometimes.
Interesting. I'm surprised like Mandarin isn't more, because you think that the populations would make it so that it would be the most spoken.
I think it's just more localized.
Or Hindu.
I feel like when you have like Spanish speaking people, you have Latin America, you have people all over. So it's kind of like a bit more spread out.
It's true. I barely speak English well, so
yeah,
I'm not doing good.
I can't even speak English, so
yeah,
I
can't even express my emotions. So,
oh, let's not talk about that. Because, gosh, I wish I could express them in a way that people understand. I literally texted a friend earlier, being like, I just don't understand the Brits. Like, I don't get it. What's what?
What is?
Exactly. So blame Britannia. Oh my God, they are at the just core of every fucking thing that has ever gone wrong in the world.
What's
You can always trace
Britannia?
it back to the Brits.
Oh,
The Brits.
okay. I believe that. I agree with that. Thanks, Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Kathleen says, just popped in to say hi to everyone that I'm wearing my Choose Sadness hoodie. Woo! I was trying to explain it to my mom. She said, well, joy is a better thing to feel.
Oh, God. You got gaslit, Kathleen.
Choose joy. Like those merch items are no longer being sold. So this is all they had at the Choose store.
They no longer had joy. So
sadness is all they
they
had.
ran
Sorry,
out
Mom.
of joy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my therapist
you.
also gaslit me, telling me that I'm being negative. And I was like, did you know I make content about toxic positivity? Thank you.
Fuck you. Oh,
And she was like, yeah, you need to believe it in order to like get out. I'm like, oh.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I don't believe it. So
My therapist says I don't express my anger enough. And I'm like, damn. You don't
Really?
know me.
Oh,
Well, she says I do it because I tell her about my YouTube channel. I've slowly divulged that information over time. And she's like, yeah, it sounds like you're like, you're expressing yourself there, but you're not expressing yourself here or like at the things you should be expressing yourself. I'm like, that could be an accurate statement. So,
well, you should be more angry, Kayla.
I know.
You just tell her all about Jeffree Star.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She's gonna be like, oh, never mind. You do express yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Take a chill pill, girl. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
If you want a hoodie, there's a link in my website or on my YouTube channel on any video. And yeah, on any video, if you want to get a hoodie. But not on this channel, only on my channel. The superior channel. I was kidding. I'm just
that
joking.
anger you expressed? Or?
Yeah. I think so. Can you get a hoodie in Europe? Yes. It's going to be delivered in pounds, though. And I don't know how much it costs.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be more expensive, I can tell you. Because you have to pay for shipping. I need to buy some as well. And I think I need to like do a pack order so that I pay for shipping once.
Yes. I'm thinking about switching merch companies to someone local because they do it here in Florida, and I found them through this other YouTuber. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, because I could like drive up there and like see it in person, but it's more expensive. So I'm like, ooh, I gotta really decide because you have to like put money up front essentially, which I don't have to do now, and I'm debating it, but I don't know if enough people are interested in merch. I mean, people have bought merch for sure, and I'm very appreciative of it, but I wonder, like, if I switched everything and did it, like, would I be paying more every month than people would be interested in? That's business, baby.
A monthly thing.
Yeah, because you have to, like, have a website for it, and they do it, like, through Shopify instead of through the print-on-demand stuff. So it's more of a risk. But at least I could, like, I know where the money's going. They're local. They seem like very nice people. If there was an issue with like anything, I could go be there in person. So that's sort of beneficial.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say about
I don't
merch.
know
I had
either.
like maybe 5 people purchase things, and 3 of them were me. So
Success. Well, I was
that
waiting
being
to
said,
hit.
I think we should have like Cringe-Fluencers, Teespring stuff.
Yeah, why not? It doesn't hurt to have it, I don't think. Well, we were trying to like wait, I think, too, at one point. Like, let's hit a certain amount of followers and then release. And that's what I've done too on my channel. Like, I hit 10,000 and I had merch come out. And then I was like, when I do 15,000 subs, then I'll have more merch come out. And it's just been a slow growth to 15,000. So I haven't had any merch. But I don't know. That's just like my own rule. It's not even a real rule. I just thought it makes sense, like, to piece it out like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we could do cringe merch. Okay, let us know if you know any graphic designers or have any ideas. We're open.
Any ideas? Clear. I don't know.
Click. Cringe.
Cringe. Yeah, something with cringe. Try maybe like choose cringe.
Yeah, I like that. Choose cringe. I like that. That's good.
That's actually good. Yeah.
Choose cringe. Because that's like, you know, something that you would be wearing without because sometimes like logos and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to wear someone else's logo necessarily. But like a catchphrase or something that's related to the content I like.
Yeah. Yeah. And yet we can brainstorm at some point.
Okay.
Did we say, oh, we had loads of plans, you guys. Unfortunately, I have been moving countries ever since. So,
not acceptable.
So I've been struggling to stay focused. But at some point, we will do the plans that we have.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to school to become like a French philosopher, and now you're becoming a data scientist. So I think.
Oh, yeah.
Things have changed.
I know. I thought the same.
Something changed. I don't think you told me. You just said it like, oh yeah, I'm here for date. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think I spoke about it on Patreon a lot because it was a whole process for a very long, it took a year essentially. But at one point I realized that if I was going to do that master's in French, I would have to do a PhD because there's nothing to do with French philosophy other than teach French philosophy. So you can't teach unless you have a PhD. And I was like, do I want to put up with another 4 years of this?
On top, yeah.
And, you know, also somebody pointed out to me that I'm not French. So I was like, what do you mean?
Wait, ¿qué? Or no, that's Spanish.
Me? I am so French.
I guess K
like,
too.
Duh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this person pointed out to me that I'm not French and that there's probably lots of French people in Britain that are going for those jobs.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, good point. I am not French indeed. So yeah, maybe I should rethink. So I messaged essentially the university and I was like, so you guys, can I switch?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Britain.
Bonjour. I'm here to become data scientist.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, switch me up. And they were like, do you mean like the humanities data science? I'm like, no, I mean the real like hardcore maths and programming. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, totally. How hard can it be? And now I'm here and I'm like, fuck.
You're like coding websites.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Good money though, and a useful career, I would imagine.
If you learn, but what am I gonna learn when I don't know anything? So
you're absorbing it like a sponge.
Oh yeah, totally. It's so easy. Just a little programming, just a little statistics. I don't understand the thing, you guys. I'm so lost. I'm there being like, what did we do? Like, what? We have workshops. What's a lab? Like,
it's all a blur.
Yeah, but we do have one class in ethics, and I'm like,
that's fun.
That's good. I know philosophy. I can talk about this. It's all good. So that one class is getting me through.
That's good. I had a philosophy class one time. I did not do well. I was like, I'm going to do so great. And it was very much like, which philosopher came up with this concept? I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. I should.
Yeah. There's some concepts you need to learn and stuff. Yeah. There's definitely like, because you can see like in my group, in my course, I guess, it's like so many people coming from like the economics side of it. And they're like so on top of like the maths and the stats and the programming. And everyone's like, oh, no problem. And they don't understand a single thing in ethics. And I'm like, what? Ethics is easy. What are you talking about? Can you explain maths to me? Literally, I had this girl like come up to me and she was like, we're going to do an exchange. You're going to teach me ethics and I'm going to teach you math. So like,
that's good.
That sounds great.
Oh,
yeah.
Making friends already. That's awesome.
Yeah. In between ruining other friendships, I'm making some.
Ain't it the way it is? Ain't that life?
Yeah, exactly.
You can write down the data. Like for every one friend that I ruin a relationship with, how many friends does it take to make a new one?
If the friendships -1 equals 0.
Yeah. 3 coffee dates equals half a layer of friendship. How long will it take me to become good friends?
No, I can totally do that program for sure. with the help of like 100 people in my course because I can do it myself. But so far, I just passed. I learned today I passed one of the assignments, a homework assignment in maths.
Wow.
Barely, but I passed.
That's good. Hold on. Hold that thought.
Thank you.
Math's hard. It really is.
Yeah, we still have an exam. This was just homework, but I passed it.
Okay, good. Well, you're on the right track.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I'm so lost. I don't even understand the system because like it's a different country. I didn't study here before. So in one of them we got a 70, and I was like, "What does that mean?" And they're like, "No, it's not too bad. It's a distinction." I'm like, "What? We got a distinction? And it's not too bad? Just fuck off. It's great."
Well, oh God, we shouldn't even
bad,
discuss
yo.
the difference. A 70 here is like a C, which is like average. Like, okay, you're not doing great. You're not doing bad. But you're almost doing bad because 70, like 70, is like you're almost in the D frame, which is bad.
Right. Oh
You
no,
fail.
here it's a distinction.
That's good. Did you get can you get an A? Or do you don't go?
No,
do you don't do
you
grades?
get in percentages.
Ah, okay. What's the highest? 100?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
But I don't think anyone ever reaches it. So
That's how Canada was too when I was there. Like they have a different system where you get an A. Well, I should say where I went to school. I don't know if it's the whole country or what, but you would get like a 90 A plus in multiplication and a B in division and a C in, addition or whatever. They didn't just do math grade. They like really broke it down, and my mom freaked out because she's like, "You need to get an A and everything." I'm like, physically, it's impossible. Like no one in the history of the country has gotten A's and everything. She's like, "I don't care. You need to be the first one." I'm like, "Oh my God." Because in America, it's much different. Like if you complain enough, you can sort of like, well, and at least in Florida, you can kind of get away with stuff. There, it's like.
I actually will tell you that some people do know maths in Canada because I went out with a maths lecturer here who is from Canada.
Oh.
So, yeah. Not my maths lecturer, but we did
A
talk
different
about my
one.
maths lecturer a lot. So
That's good. Canadians are very nice. And that's a blanket statement, but
you
from my
guys,
experience.
like the accent distracted me so much. I was just there feeling like I'm watching Disney. Like, why is he talking like this?
Cute.
Yeah, he was like, sure. And I'm like, why do you say sure? Like, what do you mean? Like, I was
Sure,
very,
eh?
there were some cultural differences for sure. Like, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, he was like, I like to read things upside down to keep my mind engaged. I'm like,
What? That's not a Canadian thing. Don't let him fool you. That's a him thing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that sounds
But
like
no,
a
it's
personal
funny.
problem. It's like everyone reads upside down in Canada. It's like, really don't. You know who's Canadian? Jordan Peterson.
Yes, I know. And he also has a big affinity towards the Russians for some reason.
He's a
I don't know what to
traitor.
think about that. He said he has all these like weird paintings from like Russian history in his house to remind himself of the evil of the world.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I love to see evil in my house, in my bedroom, above my bed. What?
I saw a meme of him the other day. It was like his book title. It's like, or his chapter title, like, make sure your room is tidy and whatever. And then it was a picture of him on like a Zoom call, and his room is like a total nightmare. Behind him, it's like everything's everywhere. It's like the irony.
Oh, wow, he didn't clean his room. Stop.
Apparently not. At least in the
Come on,
screenshot.
Jordy.
It was funny.
Yeah. It's growing on me though. Like the more I learn about him, the more I'm like, oh, he's just an old man.
He's just one of those old men. Internalized misogyny. How dare you? You have sympathy, empathy for somebody, for a man.
I do dareth.
Anyways, I'm just joking. Sort of. Okay, let's leave. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Love and light. Bye.
Love and light. Bye.